looks pretty not cool.
You know what I think is an absolute crime?
Murder?
Elves.
The fact that the sorcerers don't have access to the spell Avard's Black Tentacles. Like,
Not strong
wizards get it, what the fuck? Why can't sorcerers?
Not strong enough.
Not smart enough.
Does a spell called Avard's Black Tentacles sound like a spell that comes from intelligence to you?
Yeah, he's contacting another planet and opening a portal.
I feel like you kind of want to know what you're doing, right? Sounds pretty
But
fucking
do
dangerous.
you? But do you really if you're dropping it in the middle of your enemies?
I suppose charisma fits. Like, look at the Japanese, what they did with all that.
But are the Japanese very charismatic?
You could also argue that all of that was born out of this thing called the atomic bomb and radiation.
I saw a big post on that. It was incredible.
So funny. Like, you see maps of like places that have been nuked versus places that have like invented anime, and it's just so funny, and like, all that sort of stuff.
Fuck, now you find the image.
Well, that's my point. See, so the whole thing with sorcerers is that something's happened to their bloodline way back. Like maybe they got a bit of aberration in there, or a bit of fiend, or a bit of angel, or whatever. And so it comes from their bloodline, right? And all of this anime tentacle stuff, it's all coming from their bloodline because the US dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan. Therefore, sorcerers should be able to cast Avard's Black Tentacles.
The Japanese ones, at least.
Are you saying that Spider-Man is a sorcerer?
Yes.
You would-
The murder of Archduke Ferdinand leading to him.
Ah, I found it. Ah, yes, it's even got the dominoes. Here we go, I got it.
Is it the one that starts with the small domino? Tell me it is.
There you go.
To retaliate, the fact that it's an act of retaliation.
Wait, why is it cut off? It's not fair. There's the falls.
Oh, dude, that's totally right. We fucking found Pumpkin, didn't we?
Yeah. Were the crows protecting him this whole time?
He's been wandering.
Thought Pumpkin was a she.
I'm gonna go with she. It sounds like a girl's name.
That's sexist.
I grew up in the 80s.
Free
I have
pass.
I have a permit.
I have a racism card. No.
Do you have your 80s pass?
Yeah, he's fine.
A laminated card in the back of the wallet.
I'll be back momentarily.
Morning.
Welcome, Reese. I thought you were sick, silly.
I am.
Not sick enough to play.
No, I'm never too sick to play.
Bro, I'd have to
Maybe
be
it'll help your Russian accent.
No, Russian accent will be fine. It'll just be a bit of a sick Russian.
A regular Russian, then.
Yeah. It's mad sick, yo.
Yo.
Diggity dog. No, I was just thinking the meds that, the antibiotics and shit that I've got on, that I'm on at the moment, just causes drowsiness. And I went to sleep at like 12 or 1 last night. So when I woke up, it was just like,
Too much Warhammer.
yeah, and
Yeah, pretty fun to play.
yeah. I'm struggling to find a campaign that I like to continue though. Like it's all fun to start out, but I want to find something I can continue on.
Dwarves are really fun.
Okay.
God, thank.
No,
But
they're
yeah.
actually fucking good. You have like constant war for like the first like 60 turns because you got a freaking huge army of greenskins to yourself.
Well, I was doing Ikit Claw for a while, and I was actually on like turn, I don't know, like 60? No, 30 something. And I had that many armies going against me just because they hated me because I attacked this one settlement to my to my east. And in the end, I did destroy them with fucking rockets and crap. But in the end, they had that many armies running against me, and I wasn't prepared. And I built so many things wrong in the towns.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I just quit that one and restarted.
You gotta use your Skaven corruption to get under cities.
Yeah,
Then you
I
can
had.
start. Then like when you want to start an offensive, I'm pretty sure you just like build a fuck ton of the Vermintide things.
Anyway, sorry I'm late.
No worries.
It's fun. We were all just talking about how Japan is American bloodline sorceress.
And how cool. American Bloodline Sorcerer.
Yeah,
Amazing.
'cause I mean, it's the Americans that dropped the bomb on them.
Yeah.
So it's what happens when you mix a bit of America with Japan. Hentai is born.
Are those really big boulders?
Which ones?
They're like almost 5 feet across.
Yeah, they're really big boulders.
a
And
big
lightning was
scarecrow?
striking, like, randomly. Yeah,
I
it's
like
a
that
flat
boulder.
Yeah, Elenway nearly got absolutely fucked by it.
kill.
Oh.
Yeah,
By what?
outright
The
killed by the
scarecrow?
falling. It's a
Lightning strikes?
effigy of Vlad.
Strahd.
Strahd,
That's
sorry, not Vlad.
cool.
Yeah,
Did we break
effigy
it?
of Strahd, like the Burning Man Strahd.
Yeah,
And lightning was striking everywhere, and it fell on Elenway and almost
that's
killed
pretty
her.
cool.
Almost.
But we got one of the
Gems.
gems out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The gem was in it? Oh, cool.
gem was in it.
It
So now
was.
we have
That's
one of
why
the
I had
gems.
all like the twig blights,
Mm.
stuff like that. Reverse the fuck off tree.
What is it? Neverwinter? No,
Winter splinter.
Winter Splinter. That's it. Yeah.
Is that the tree?
Yeah, that one. It was a bit of a doozy. Lucky we had a lot of fire stuff.
Fire! Alright.
I tell you what, though, I'm fucking so tapped. Holy shit. I don't think I have anything left. I think I have one channel divinity left.
Well, I think you'd all like to know that I have everything left.
You
Even
didn't use-
after you tackled Strahd, fuck.
Yeah,
Pretty
you didn't
good.
use shit to tackle Strahd. I think I've got one use of rage left. Yeah,
I
one
got a
use
fair
of
bit to be
rage.
honest.
I have not
And I still
healed
have-
up over the night, so I don't think I've. How
We
many
leveled
rests?
up too, Saxon. You did that?
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that now.
What did I
I've
get
not
at
healed up
7?
since the fight at the cottage.
I forgot.
Let me just do that real quick. Unless
We didn't have a
Dark
long
XP.
rest. We had a short rest
we had a short rest.
at the
Oh,
cottage. Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
Gotta roll then.
We had a short rest at the winery before we came here. Not a long one.
All right,
Nice.
I can remember that last week. Varrig got beaten up by a horse.
Oh yeah, that too. he can tackle the horse and Strahd, knock them over, but the horse will fuck him up in a fight.
What the fuck, Jackson? Settle down.
Yeah. You right there?
I'm rolling HP. Not rolling HP, but I'm rolling hit dice
Hit
because
dice.
I'm quite injured from
The horse.
not from the horse.
You get so many temp HP from the Halo of Spores stuff.
So what now? I get temp HP for reckless attacking. I have one reg left as well, so I think we should big sleep.
I have still 3 charges of that detect magic, but that's about it.
Take magic.
Yeah, my class I can detect magic without spending a spell slot for 3 times between a long rests.
What class is that?
Wild
Barbarian.
Path of the Wild Soul.
Wild Soul
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Okay.
Yeah,
The away one.
I'm gonna look into that. 'Cause
it's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
it
I
looks
like
pretty
it.
groovy, yeah. It looks really sick.
Yeah. Like it's the same sort of thing of the Wild Sorcerer.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
reliable, but it's hella fun to play.
That's
It's like,
it, hey, yeah.
I don't know. I think we're pretty hella reliable.
oh yeah, but like honestly, I've gotten 3 out of the 7 different things I can get, and let's be honest, they could have gone really wrong in multiple places where I was standing right near you.
I'm just waiting for the moment that I roll a fireball centered on self
Yeah.
and we all die.
Yep. That's
Well,
exactly
either
it.
like you roll that and I roll my my one that where is it? Burst from you. Each creature within 30 feet takes 1d10 necrotic damage, and you gain temporary hit points equal to the sum of the necrotic damage dealt to the creatures. So within 30 feet of me, everyone that takes 1d10, like even you guys,
Yeah.
I get that health. So basically stealing health from you, which won't be good.
You're just disconnected.
What do aboleths speak again? Is it deep speech?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that would be right. Yeah, deep speech. I don't know if there's any language in the far realm. I don't think that they really communicate much out there, not in a conventional sense anyway.
Yeah,
I think a lot of aboleths just have they speak directly into the mind and they people understand what they're saying.
Yeah, not just aboleths. There's a lot of aberrations and far realm creatures in D&D where they have direct telepathy, and it's like you don't require to speak the same language. I've always interpreted that as like communicating in images, visions, and stuff.
when a beholder says, "I'm going to kill you," you just get images of it decapitating you or strangling you with all its ice stalks. Grr. Arg.
One more minute.
I will be right back then.
Is Neo coming?
Yeah,
He-
he's just gonna be a bit late.
He'll be late, so we'll get started really soon. I'm uploading one final picture, and we will return to our regular scheduled programming.
Diddle-ding.
Yeah, I'll try and mute my mic in time whenever I have a fit, but hopefully I get there before I start.
Understand? All right, let us begin. Now, we left off in the valley of Barovia, this densely forested, thick misted valley that lies between two towering mountain ranges, the Ballanox and Mount Gacchus. Mount Gacchus, home apparently to a great rock, an eagle that swallowed a magic gem and grew to a monstrous size. The same gem being responsible for the creation of a champagne so fine that you cannot really truly appreciate just how majestic it is. Because your characters will never truly understand how delightful this wine is, let me say out of character that there are entities who would travel across the plains to but sample this vintage. Such things are quite far from our mind. We have no time for giant when we are stalked by giant wolves. Here we are in the Spalak Woods, the edge of a rise, banked up against an escarpment almost 100 feet tall that would be difficult to climb even for a mountain. We find our companion. We don't know Napa very well, but he is protecting the vulnerable Ivana, and finally, they are both quite askance towards a beast that is grazing peacefully. I believe she is a donkey named Pumpkin. The wolves howl in the distance, but their howls are ones of loss, of derision, of defeat, they are wails. They are the wails of widows of war.
I hope that's the. Oh, I hope that's the end of something.
Sounds like we have a moment for now.
Alright, I'm going to go get my axes that I left back over there.
Did you leave them all the way back at Easter Hill? Because we've now run pretty far into the forest. As you can see, we're almost a mile from the edge of the forest, and that's assuming we go in the right direction.
Yeah, I didn't say that I picked up the one that dropped and the other one that was in the tree.
Sure.
I would have to, yeah.
All right. So that means we're going back to Easter Hill, the site of the massacre, guys. Is that the fight's only just ended. You're still panting. There is still steam rising off your skin as your sweat conflicts with the oh so cold autumn air all around you. Pumpkin stops grazing and puts up her ears and brays in surprise and delight.
Where am I?
We are all here unless we are not. Those of you who ran after the braying, toward the sounds, the final moments are a little bit lost on me. But in order to find Napa and in order to find Ivana, you would have had to head into the forest. And so that's. Are we on the right map?
I'm seeing the hill.
Yeah.
The
It's
forest.
very, very top.
Oh,
right
we're in Easter Hill. Sorry. Okay. Well, this is like, yeah. I'll take us. Woo! We're like a mile inside the forest. By the
Alright.
time you find them, you've stumbled like through lots of underbrush, lots of trees and grasses. You've crossed small creeks. You've gone through brambles and thorns, and you come across them at the edge of an escarpment, 100 foot tall, more or less, a rocky, not exactly a sheer cliff, but the sort of obstacle that would prove difficult to anyone except a mountaineer. But we find them. There are howls all around, a mile away, 2 miles away, 10 miles away.
I feel like we should maybe try and get back to the road. I think we might be safest on that. We can make our way back to the winery and drop this
That's-
off and I'll take out the gem that I pulled from the effigy of Strahd.
This might be a good idea. Arctic, so we had left our horses with Arena and Kappa, and then me and Victor. Are they still with them?
They're gone, man. They have fucking scattered. There is no sign
Told
of the
us they'd be
horses.
safe if we left them with the Ravens.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that. I never ever.
You did. We asked if it'd be fine for us to leave it all there, and you were like, "Yeah, it'll be safe. The Ravens will look after
Lad,
them."
shit happens, alright? This is Ravenloft.
Yeah, that's right. And like was quite simple. It was that that I would not kill player characters who aren't here, and that stands. As for your equipment, as for your gear, if you left it with the Were Ravens, you could probably go back to the Wizards of Wines and see. That's up to you to find out. If you left them with Ivana and Napa, and they got ambushed by 6 wolves and 2 werewolves and Strahd on top of Flaming Horse, the horses are fucking gone. No amount of suspecting preparation can prevent that because
Would have
they're
been
not.
nice to know that before.
I
Well,
thought we walked
told
down.
it
It's,
was all
didn't we?
it's,
safe.
I'm sorry if logic has astounded you in this position.
No, well, no. We had that conversation out of character about, is it fine to leave all this with the characters that aren't here? And you said it'll be safe.
In normal circumstances, it would be. I'm not sure why this is like. I can understand why you'd be upset, but like, honestly, this is follow the logical conclusion. Nappa has run into the forest with Ivana. The dwarf has just stood there and fought for his life. You're a fucking horse. What do? You run. That's just logic.
I mean, logic is if out of character, we're told it'll all be safe. The DM's not going to ambush the things that are.
You're so upset you find your horse there, where the problem is solved.
We're seeing Pumpkin. We see Pumpkin.
You do.
Hey, Pumpkin's alive.
I know. A miracle, isn't it? I
But
go,
like,
go over there and kind of pat her on the head.
wait, what if it's like a trick from Strahd? She's so far away from like when we lost her.
Retract my hand quickly, kind of like suspiciously eye the donkey.
She does the same to you.
She suspiciously eyes it.
Oh,
Exactly.
Vorig, what if you're right? Take a step back.
She takes a step back.
Can I activate my magical my eyes glow for a
Detect
second
magic.
as I kind of focus and I use one of my detect magic casts to see if it's magical.
No, there's no mystical aura here. There's nothing transmuted. There's no enchantments. There's just a very suspicious equine.
He had to check to see if devils were indeed magical.
I did. I had to do a quick Google.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
like
shape shifting. Does shape shifting get revealed by?
we kill Pumpkin. No, joke.
Again, no. Yeah, I like to think that as I do this, I kind of walk up, not really knowing how detect magic works. I kind of open up Pumpkin's mouth, have a look in, check his teeth, have a look around, move his head.
Fangs! No fangs.
Oh god.
She's looking good. She's looking quite healthy, in fact. A little bit plump, perhaps. A little bit scratched. She's battle hardened. It looks like she's suffered, and yet suffered and prospered at the same time. Much in the way that someone like you have. Your muscles are tauter. Your belly is slimmer. Maybe you've got a few scratches, a few wrinkles, and maybe even your first grey hairs. But you're a harder man for it, and she's a harder beast.
She is good beast. She is not magic, as you say. She's slow. Look, then I tap the thighs of the donkey.
Yeah, we can bring him back with her. All right. How's Irina?
I look at her with my magical eyes. She's
I'm-
not magical either.
I'm ready to go, she says. All this time, I haven't even had time to draw my sword.
I will keep your arm or no, keep your hand on it in the hilt.
Hmm.
Maybe you can like draw faster next time. I don't know.
Thank you, Nappa. You acted fast when you brought me here. If I had any sense, I might have resisted. I might have thought that you were one of Strahd's spies. But I see I can trust you. Yes, says Nappa. Well, it might be best if I make my own trails now. There's wolves to hunt, and perhaps I can thin the numbers and make them double back on our tracks. If they come stalking you, perhaps I can put them down before they reach you. If you wish to rest, he says to the rest of you, I will delay that. I will watch over you if you need to take a moment, though. And he looks around the depths of the forest with its hanging vines and its cawing crows. I fear that this is as dangerous a place as any other. We have our backs against the mountain. That means that we cannot be approached from the rear, but it also means it makes it much harder to run. If you wish me to accompany you, I will. If you wish me to patrol, I shall.
Well,
I am yours.
why don't you come with us? I feel like we should perhaps go back to the winery, and then from there, you can make your way, gather yourself, rest with us, maybe enjoy a glass if they'll let us.
All right. That sounds like it could be a lovely way to spend the evening. And they have walls.
Are we able to discern roughly the time of day through the underbrush? Or is it way too dense?
Probably not so much through the underbrush, but you can remember nonetheless. It was only a few minutes since you were doing battle.
Sure.
Now, did we stay at the Wizard of Wines overnight?
No, I think we just had a short rest there, and then we head out.
Right. By that rationale, okay, so let's go all the way, because we started from Crest, didn't we? 2 miles, another 2.5 miles, another 2 miles. So yeah, we've traveled about 7, probably less than 8 miles. It's about 12, 13 kilometers. It's about half a day, even in good conditions. And these are conditions. It would probably be after midday, which means that if you want to make it back to Crest, you're going to have to get a move on. But if you want to simply make it back to the Wizards of the Wines, then you should get there with at least an hour to spare before dark. And that's even assuming that we go by back by the
hill.
By the hill.
Yeah.
I'm up for getting back to the wines.
I think so. I think we all deserve to just relax. We haven't really taken...
They're mostly safe, protected by the crows.
Exactly. We haven't really taken time since, well, Valaki to just relax at an inn or something. We should just take a moment for ourselves.
I agree.
Good.
But I can go get my axes, yeah.
Oh, of course. If you want company going to get them, I'll come with you. It's a little ways away.
No, but we all move together, don't split up.
I think that is most probably best. The wolves like to pick off the lone ones.
And what's the lighting like in this forest? Is it dim?
Dark.
It is dark. Okay. I'll use the light cantrip to kind of illuminate our immediate area as we move back to the hill.
You frighten some birds and they immediately take to wing. But you keep the raccoons and the voles and the other small animals at bay. You don't spot any sign of wolves, though. It seems that the wolves have been suitably chastised for now.
As soon as Elunway casts light, my body seems to like naturally recognize the magic, and my hair turns light as well. as in cast light on my hair, but I don't do it. It just happens.
Sick.
And I walk as a beacon as well.
That's cool.
Magnificent. Yeah, I bet that's how you got your first girlfriend. You did that trick.
Just Jesus, just walking
That's
through.
that's it.
Is that normal?
No, it happens when people cast that magic. It's some magic I am more attuned to, but whenever that happens, my hair likes to glow as well. But it doesn't matter. More light is better.
What, like you duplicate spells?
More mimic. I copy, but I don't get control over it. It is not mine to control. It is wild, if you would, like me.
What if someone casts like a, a fireball? Do you like have to run to the toilet real fast?
Scratch my head. I don't understand. What do you mean? I want
Someone
to toilet
else-
fast every time.
If someone else cast fireball, then maybe you should be the one running very quick.
It's alright, I'll dodge it.
You mimic.
See it
I'll
coming
sa-
a mile away.
I'll disable the light. Does your hair go out too?
Yeah, I'll say it does.
It eyes like a hawk.
Oh. Hey, that's a pretty cool trick. I'll cast light again.
Yeah, turns back on with you.
Oh. By the sun. That's very neat. I
No,
like
no, not sun, just hair.
Well, yes. Well, the light is kind of given to me by the sun, I suppose. But anyway, it's semantics. It doesn't matter. Come on, let's be on.
Okay.
So you're going back to Yister Hill in order to inspect that axe and pick up the other axes? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think I threw a javelin, dropped my axe, and the other axe, if they're still there.
If you're weaponless this whole time as well, I'll give you a hand axe just to kind of get us there in case anything happens.
Oh, I still have another great axe, it's alright. Yeah.
Alright, that's alright. I've got one more. Sick.
Got weapons on weapons.
fine.
But we're in
Yeah.
the spare bed.
I don't know.
Six
You're gonna have to.
axes.
You'll have to work out how you're carrying all these weapons. It's in company rules are one thing. Number of hands is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Does Pumpkin still have? Did we put a pack saddle on it? Or what? did
She
come
would have.
on?
Yeah, she would have lost all of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
sure.
definitely freed
That's-
herself
that's
of any
fair.
burden she might have had. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but it's a sign of a massacre here. I mean, it's a vegetarian massacre, but it is still the brutality of your. It's clear, particularly once you go up and wrench the axe out of Winter Splinter.
Oh, they are gone.
Sorry, if I deleted you, that was an accident. But I was just trying to delete the
No,
units.
it's alright.
Was Winter Splinter the tree?
It certainly was.
Big old
Alright.
oak.
Oh, you weren't here last week, of course. Yeah.
And I forgot to watch the video during the week, or I just didn't have
Yeah.
time actually.
What's the what does the axe look like that he pulls? From
Great
the-
question.
From the tree, is there any iconography of like the sun, any fire, anything like that?
Yeah, there is. There's also a picture of Winter Splinter. I had a look for it. I couldn't find it. I'll see if I can get it. It'll be here. Yister Hill. No.
Something about like animated trees. I just find really cool.
I can't find it in the I can't find it in Curse of Strahd, so I'll just share it in the
Discord?
no, in the Discord. That's right. I've got to open Yister Hill first. So this will just take a little bit of time.
No worries.
Pretty good picture.
Yeah, what's this axe, eh? Where'd you find it?
Oh, it was in this tree here. I caught it glinting. It well, we fought. I didn't get a chance to come over because of the mayhem, but give it a few test swings, just kind of swinging it around. It is quite good.
Looks nice.
Oh, might replace one of my normal ones.
Why do you have so many?
You need a special weapon for every occasion, no? Like your armor. Why do you have that?
It protects me. It
Like,
deals damage.
why the spikes?
I can rub up against me foes and then I'll like shred to pieces.
Exactly. I have multiple axes to hit multiple people, huh? Why the questions?
Don't think your arm is big enough to hold both those at the same time.
I hold both at the same. No, I don't even know how. Yeah. Sorry.
Give it a few swings.
I just start spinning on the spot, just naturally swing them around.
Like hit a tree or something.
I hit a shrub instead.
Yeah, see, I told you, it'd bounce out your hand if you hit too hard.
What's with the
Alright.
questions anyway? Hmm?
Curious.
It's a wicked tree.
Yeah, for the axe.
Mm.
Hey, what's the axe called?
Found a cool picture of lights too.
Twig.
3 types.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I like the medium-sized ones. Their face looks really cool.
I think they're the vine ones,
The vine
aren't they?
ones, the sick ones. Yeah, they're the more blue.
Fucking hate
green.
the vine ones. They're annoying.
Yeah, they're slow, but if they get to you,
Oh
boy.
yeah.
oh boy.
That's
That big
annoying.
one looks like a prick.
Haha. Hee hee.
Especially if you have like 3 of the vine ones on you at once. Me and Boric know about
yeah,
that.
why does that sound
Mm.
familiar?
Hmm.
They're very not fun.
No, they just constantly. It's like they're cheesing.
New Total War Warhammer DLC.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's no picture for the axe, unfortunately.
Aw.
No, it's a bit sad. But it does have an extremely keen blade, and its sharpness appears to be phenomenal, particularly since it is neither chipped nor dulled at all, wedged directly into this super hard structure of the Gulthias tree, um, but has been completely undulled by these attacks.
It's a bit much of a great axe there.
No, I reckon that's exactly how it looks.
Let's go with that.
Cool.
Is it like a big wood cutting axe?
It is a big wood cutting axe. That's specifically what it is. It's a wood cutting axe. I can think of no better description.
So like a more like industrialized version of a Dane axe or something.
Yeah, with probably a massive head but a long shaft. Dane axe.
Say again.
So it would be in the hands of a lumberjack. It would be at home. A Dane axe is another good example. Big head, big shaft. Vaguely like what we think of modern fireman axes, but on a larger scale. Yeah, perfect for chopping down timber.
Cool, yeah.
Hey,
Kinda-
we've got everything here, right? The gem, this axe, that was a bonus. Let's go back to the Wizards of Winds.
Weighing both of my old axe and the new axe in my hands, would I be able to just gauge which one I like more? Like which one I think would be better?
What's your old axe?
It's just a normal great axe. That's it.
Make an insight check.
Nothing.
You, on one hand, the new axe has no chips nor bluntness; it's in mint condition. But on the other hand, the axe that you've been using all this time, has been very reliable. It's never let you down.
Was the wood on the tree any sort of special as well?
Yeah. Short answer is yes. After all, they made that Gulthia staff from just one of its branches. You might want to make, I guess, a nature check, perhaps. But the short answer is absolutely yes. After all, it's not every day you come across a sentient, mobile, giant, carnivorous tree.
15's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Maybe we can
There's
take the pumpkin and drag it back.
there are unlimited things that this could potentially be used for. Almost all of them evil. Like let's say a vampire wood, maybe it would protect him. Or if you made a wand out of this, it might be excellent for necromancy or for evil druid magic like casting blight and such innovation, those sort of spells. So so if you can think of anything that's related to either necromancy or nature with a darker tone, then you can be sure that you've got 10 tons of material. There might be 100,000 gold pieces worth of wood within this tree. You've just got to find some seriously evil liches to sell it to.
What if I made a stake out of it? Would that do anything weird? Like wrong?
Short answer is yes, but what, right? Like it might be perfect. It might be excellent against the undead, or it might prove exactly the opposite.
I would like to make a stake out of it.
All right, you have a Gulthias stake.
How do I spell that?
Like this.
I'm also gonna take a small branch and start shaping it with a knife into like a wand for when I'm using vampiric touch.
The first one that you find is quite malleable, quite flexible, because although it is a tree branch, it's still filled with a kind of sap that's like blood. You find another one that's far more rigid, though, and so you can take your choice. You can take both if you want. You've got like a conventional, traditional stick and something a lot more bendy and flexible. Do you prefer one over the other for your wand?
Probably a flexible one.
All right, it's a bit rubbery, so it's like a rubber wand. That's the way of thinking. Yeah, a rubber wand.
You can cast spells around corners.
Yeah, that's right, and use it for an ear scratcher because it flexes a bit.
I think I'll just use my new axe to just take a swing at a tree and see how it feels.
Ah, the tree is obliterated. No, maybe it doesn't. But the tree is obliterated. It's in fact far more deadly than you anticipate. Far more deadly.
I audibly
You'd expected that it maybe had with a superior edge, it would do some damage, but the tree actually seems to wither away from your blow. It's not just killed by the impact; it's also drained of its life.
Please
I
keep
love
that
that
axe away
scream.
from me.
This seems much better than my axe, and I chuck my old axe over my shoulder and just leave it on the ground, and I take this one.
You throwing it away?
I don't need it anymore. Well, I can't carry it home. I got these already, and I got these javelins.
Doesn't respect weapon. Alright,
We are in
get
war
back to the wine.
times. We are in war times, young lord. It is not time to have feelings for our weapons.
Don't know what feelings you're having for your weapons.
Neither do you. Alright, let's go. No more
Rory,
talk.
Speaking of feelings for weapons, have I felt anything from Bloodthirster?
Let me see. Let me have a look at him.
Him? No. It is also sentient.
Make a roll a d100.
God.
No, aside from the fact that you can never let it go, it just it remains dormant.
Alright.
Don't like that choice of words.
It feels good in your hand. It feels like an extension of your arm, and a lethal addition to your repertoire.
Alright, back to the wines we go. That's all we need. Does anyone else want a steak from this tree?
Sure, I'll take one. Why not?
Hew a few axes. A few steaks, sorry.
Right. The Wizard of Wands. So, the muddy trail that meanders through the woods parts and reveals the meadow that is the Wizard of Wines. There are many crows, many ravens in the sky, a lot of which have been following you this entire time. There are dark-haired people, men and women, working through the vineyard, or working is maybe a generous word. They're inspecting the damage, while a few of the others keep a lookout, namely the ravens in the sky. When they see you coming, the children hide behind the women, and the women allow the men to come forward. Men greet you and open up conversation. If it's accommodation that you want, then they're happy for you to dwell here for a day or longer if you desire. If it's wine that you wish, then come and grab a glass, because the men have already begun to dip in. The women are a little more prudent and are at least waiting until a later hour, till they put the children to bed perhaps, but the men are hooking in immediately. As for the horses, we find one. The Martikovs managed to halt one, and they present it to you, saddlebags and all. Sadly, the other was run into the forest and has not been since, taking all that it carries with it.
It was my horse. He didn't have anything on him anyway. So.
He's in a better place now.
Probably not. He's probably dead. But I mean, I guess that could be a better place if there's horsey heaven.
We massacred a lot of the wolves, like not all of them to be sure, and so while you can't say either way, and while odds are he probably was killed, the going's never been better, because having bloodied the nose, just about disemboweled the guts of the wolves and the werewolves of Barovia, you've given it a fighting chance. If Pumpkin can survive, why not the horse?
Pumpkin's battle hardened.
Yeah, I was just
The horse
thinking.
ain't.
Pumpkin's pretty badass.
True enough.
We gotta give them the rock, right? The stone.
Yes.
The gem.
Is Martikov around? Is he available?
Yeah, you find him in his cups already. He's had three glasses, and it's made him quite merry.
Sure.
And when you, it's with an accent that's almost too thick to understand.
I'm kind of like I'm smiling and bright-eyed, and I kind of walk over to him and say, "Oh, well, Mr. Martikov, I'm pleased to return this to you. By the sun we have found it, by the sun we give it back." I present him with the gem, even though I probably can't understand a word he's saying, but it's obvious that he's jovial.
It is indeed. He holds it up and he babbles something. He babbles thanks, and he kisses you slobberingly on either side of the cheek, and he raises and he demands a toast in the honor of you and your kind.
I take a glass, then I kind of lift it up in the direction of the party.
Aye, me too.
Pour it out, boys.
This is but the purple grape mash, the least of the wines, the least by far, and yet it is such a refreshing drop. It parches, it relieves the most parched throat, and seems to soothe you on the way down, being at once cooling on the throat, warming in the belly, a true medicine. If laughter is the best medicine, then this must be number 2. And there is laughter aplenty as well, as the ravens look down upon you from the rafters above and caw to themselves. You know peace for a night, and during this night you may engage in some leisures, such as light reading or conversation. You may simply wish to rest your head and pass out and forget about the nightmares you've been having. This is your night. You are protected. There are 100 pairs of eyes watching this, and they're all on our side for a change. We found safety. We found a little bit of safety. And those of you who stay up late into the night drinking, those of you who socialize, or like the elf, simply refuse to sleep, pass away the 10th hour merrily and the 12th hour happily. But when the clock strikes 13, no one else seems to notice. The Martikovs are drunk or asleep, and they drift off to bed to slumber. But their little clock, a modern contraption from the faraway land of Lemordia, 100 years ahead of its time in Barovia, 200 years perhaps, it chimes, as it does on every hour, but it's never chimed 13 before.
What does that mean?
It is a clock, it chimes. Get over it.
I forget you can't count.
Huh?
Is anyone else awake?
Hey. Sorry, I just showed up. What's the situation?
We are
We're enjoying,
celebrating.
enjoying some well-earned comforts. We've just returned the gem back to the Martikovs at the winery, and we're having a couple. And then the clock is basically there's like a small clock that's just it's chimed 13 times for the first time in its existence, essentially. So we're all kind of now just talking about that.
Alright, thanks for that. Apologies for interrupting.
Not a problem. No, that's good to clarify.
Ain't it meant to go 1 to 12, 1 to 12?
I didn't hear anything different, but that might just be the wine.
No, Varig's right.
Oh.
It's like a Strahd looking at him. What are the crows doing if I look up? Are they looking at the clock?
Yeah. Yeah. The crows are quiet for once.
Can I pick up the clock and look behind it or under it or anything?
Looks perfectly normal, if such a thing can be said of an object you've never seen before in your life. Magnificent mechanisms. Djukovic would have loved to see this.
That's strange. Maybe like something's wrong with its bits on the inside.
Can we look outside and see if it's like up? Like, I don't know.
You look outside, and you notice something different. The clouds are parting. The mist is parting. The mist is less. In fact, the only mist that you can see here appears to be entirely natural. It's shin deep at best, licking above the top of your boots, but not rising any higher. Most notably, there's no wall of mist to your west. You no longer see a great towering wall larger than a fortress here on the western border, inexplicably blocking off all vision beyond. But that's not even the most striking thing. For the clouds have parted, revealing the night sky, as if all the storm clouds that you've witnessed, and you've witnessed nothing but storm clouds, all the clouds have blown away, and the full moon has risen. The full moon is round, and being the middle of the night, you could probably expect it to be almost directly above you, since that is the trajectory of a full moon, and a druid would know this. But it's not. It lies in the northwest, curiously hanging quite low to the horizon, but huge and blood red.
Where does it lie, sorry?
To the northwest, some impossibly far distant horizon. The moon should be straight above you if it's a full moon. It's not. It's out of position. It's on the horizon, a long way away. If you've ever seen a moon rise on a bushfire, or you know those we have blood moons, and it turns that vaguish red and hangs near the horizon. It's like that, but it doesn't move. You could spend an hour here watching it, and it won't pass through the trajectory of the sky.
Well, it's that's concerning. What if it's like a giant eyeball sent by Strahd?
Could I like a nature or religion or history? I don't know which one would suit.
Any of those, but they'll give different information.
Yeah.
This is entirely unnatural.
Can I hold the orb of the supplicant between me and it?
Yeah. It stains the colour of the orb, an even deeper imperial purple.
Has this ever happened before? While Victor and Vlad have been living here?
To your knowledge, no. But if you've lived in Barovia, or you've probably barely even seen the sky. Occasionally the clouds part at night, rarely, but occasionally. But this is a phenomenon the likes of which you've never seen. The sky is more or less clear, and that's something that's never happened in your lifetime.
Are there any stories in religious canon that talk about blood moons, what they could symbolize, what they mean, in the context of like our world's religion? If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like,
You make a history check, yeah. It's a very obscure reference. No such thing. There are blood moons in the world that from, but it means something different. A blood moon in your world, extraplanar, like a planet, of the world that the vampires have conquered and have are essentially using as a. They move people up there to farm and to live a subsistence feudal lifestyle, and they just serve as fodder for the vampire feudal master over the rest of them. That's what a blood moon is in your parlance. It's
Sure. Yeah, okay. What could it mean?
Maybe it's best we like close the windows and go to sleep. Hope it's not there in the morning.
I think so.
by the time dawn comes, the clouds have blown back over again, and then once again the sky remains invisible to your mortal eyes. But the wall of mist to the west is gone.
Are there walls of mist all around? Other borders we've seen?
You've never been to the border of Barovia except when you came in, and in that case there basically was, but it was a bit difficult to tell. So, so you've never been to the southern edges, and you don't know. That said, Vlad or Victor might have done so. They've had their whole lives to explore this place.
Well, yeah, we came in from outside because we're from Lamortia. But even then, it would still be, I'm assuming, very, very rare to possibly. Or has that wall of fog gone up recently? Because I mean, we've heard that the dark powers or the overlords or whatever can come and go, or not come and go themselves, but they can block it or let people through.
Yeah, exactly. You put it succinctly there. The Vistani tell tales that and we use the term Dark Lord very broad. Someone like Strahd von Zarovic is quite clearly a master of his domain. He is the sole master, always has been. And it's said that these powers, like Strahd, like Azalen, the Wizard King of the massive realm of Darkon to the north, like Harkon Lucas of the Southern Realm, of Harmonia. Anyway, Kartakis, you have heard that these powerful political entities have some kind of magical relationship with the land that enables them to close their borders. And to close your borders in this world means something entirely different to what most people think it does. It's a very literal thing. So yeah, you've probably been to the northern and southern borders and have found great walls of mist, but it's not always like that. It wasn't like that the day you walked in, for example. And people are known to come and go from realm to realm at times. It's put it this way: not every ends with eternal servitude or death. Sometimes people get let out.
Not that what's on the other side's much better.
That's, yeah, sadly quite accurate.
Anton's kind of come to by this point at all this weirdness, and he's gonna use his universal speech on the Raven.
All right. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh shit. I'm not gonna get anything in. Anyway, he's gonna say, "Do you know what's going on?"
They do not. Well, yes, we do. No, anyway, I won't go through that. There is general confusion among the Ravens. Some of them think they know. Some of them think they don't. Everyone's but can agree on one thing: the borders are down. Barovia is open. The gates are unlocked, and they, at least, as Ravens, have braved the realm beyond, and some of them have blown over and returned in the. So, risking their lives for the information, some Ravens have confirmed that the poisonous borders are poisonous no more.
We recovered Irina, right?
Yeah, and she's psychologically, well, not sound, but she's at least hardened, you know, a bit like Pumpkin, really. She's a survivor now.
Listen, we have Irina, we have Pumpkin, we. What if we just left?
How do you know that going west will let us leave?
Border of Strahd's domain, at least we'll hopefully be out of his reach.
What if he's got it like divided, like little section? He's just opened the gates to one of them.
Anton, if this had happened, you know, within a couple of moments or even a few days of arriving, then I'd absolutely be going and agreeing with you. But I kind of look down at the holy symbol, look back up at you, and say, like, I think like we're here for a reason, and if you want to leave, go. But I can't.
I think that if you were to flee to the west, you might find little of the peace you are hoping for. Barovia has the devil Strahd. To the west, they have their own monsters.
But and Anton just kind of like slumps down against a wall and starts taking swigs from his wine flask again. Just like, yeah, he basically just checks out.
It will be over soon, little friend. And I pat you on the head. Don't worry. We will finish this.
Well, what's the plan for today? Back to Krensk? Balaki? Find that wizard, maybe? Or go to those ruins and find the, an extra gem for these folks?
Do we want to because I don't know about the guy in character. Weren't we gonna go out of character say we were gonna go take care of that priest?
I think that was on a couple of characters like to-do lists, I suppose. I'm okay with that out of character. I'm fine to do that. Yeah.
I just don't know about it in character, so I can't say anything.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
If we're not gonna flee Barovia, we gotta deal with that fucking priest.
Yeah. Fine.
Which priest? And the priest good usually?
The abbot at the abbey.
In Krensk. Where we met you.
Alright. Is he a bad person?
Well, it's a difficult situation. The abbot is a powerful celestial being. I know that for fact. However,
Alright.
He's also insane, has a horde of monsters trapped
Exactly.
in the abbey above the town, and is using them to steal bodies that he's stitching together in an attempt to make a bride for Strahd.
So he's corrupted, yes? And then we can kill him and slay him.
Some kind of insane, but
it appears to have fallen, whoever he is.
He sounds corrupted to me, which means it's alright to purge him from the world. Or at least make him try to answer for his crimes, either one. But I doubt he will come quietly. So purging would probably be best.
Alright, well let's gather our things and then make way.
Alright.
Can I ask the Martikovs if they have a pack saddle of sorts for Pumpkin, or one that we can fit to Pumpkin?
They do indeed, and if you're going to Krensk, or even if you're going to why don't you take the wagon, and that way you can haul a barrel of this stuff all the way there.
Don't you need the wagon back, though?
is this the only reback?
They're gonna come along too, if you don't mind.
Don't get in our way. Try to stay out of danger, but I don't mind.
I don't entirely trust you with the wine. I don't say that though.
Right. Well, yeah. I'm sure the Burgermeister will appreciate a barrel of wine. Absolutely.
How do you get there normally? Like every time we go anywhere, we get attacked by wolves.
They admit that they too suffer the same fate, but they look up at the sky with the swarms of ravens flying around. We tend to have fair warning, and we can hold our own besides.
Fair enough. That carry crossbows and swords or something.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, they definitely do, and they're pretty rich too, so they're able to equip themselves with relatively good quality gear.
Before we head out, knowing that it might get pretty violent a bit later, I think I'm going to cast Aid at 3rd level on myself, Vorig, and Mindatus. So you guys gain, I think it's at 3rd level it becomes 10 HP.
Oh.
So your maximum increases. But I don't think I think you go up by 10, but your HP only goes up by 5. I think.
Cast a spell using high slot, a target's hit points increase. Should go the whole way, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Then both of you guys gain. Your HP increases by 10, as do your current hit points.
93.
65. And then with
Jesus Christ, a level 7?
Yeah,
I've rolled a max like 3 times, I think, or 2 times. And I've rolled pretty decent.
and with the temp hit points I get, fuck me. 28 temp hit point.
Temp don't stack, so.
Yeah, no, but 93 for me.
You
With
have
that,
93 as well?
with the temp hit points, yeah.
Yeah, okay, with the temp.
See, I no longer think that the Rock would win this battle. You know, if we got multiple people with 100 hit
Gonna have
points, then this is just you know, a
Strahd
war...
around sucking you off.
Exactly. A war of attrition can only go one way. With a combined hit point total of 700. All right.
As long as it only deals physical damage, I can tank it for a bit.
We get our 4 Levis, we're like packing our. Anton's gonna like find a Lenway when she's alone and come up to her and say, thank you for talking me down earlier. That wasn't a proud moment for me.
Anton, that's fine. I admit, this whole place, this whole time has really rubbed me the wrong way, and I can't wait to get home. And I'm sure you can't either. And when we are home, we'll look back on it all and just have to laugh. But until then,
Yeah.
we've got your back. We're traveling with a good group of people, and you're a good man. So don't worry about it.
I know. I don't want you to doubt me in a moment. I'm not a coward. I'm not that kind of man.
I know. That's fine.
Anyway, thank you.
It's all good. You're welcome.
All right, we ready to roll?
Sure.
The road to Kresk proves uneventful, strangely enough. The birds are singing and chirping. The wildlife is curiously poking its nose out and sniffing at your footprints once you've gone. The cold waters of Lake Baratok and the Raven River rush underneath this ancient bridge And you can see it crystal clear, great trout and brim swimming around among the smooth creek stones beneath it. And after a journey of 2 or 3 hours, you see the village of Kresk come into view. Behind it, up atop, a terrace, the abbey, with its great bell tower. And as you arrive, you hear the bells ringing out. 10, 11, 12, 13.
Chimes of the bell, would you say?
Correct.
Furrow my brow.
It's a little past the middle of the day.
Why does this keep happening? The day's getting longer.
I mean, you have said that this abbot is insane.
Get this, he gets visited by Strahd every now and then in disguise.
That sounds more concerning than mad.
He also uses that bell, I think, as a signal that he's going to feed his monsters.
Don't know if feed's the right word. They just come down and steal a body, right?
That's when they all go mad. Remember, it would ring and then they would start screeching, and I think those two henchmen went around. I recall.
Something like that, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough now, won't we?
Well, forgive me, but are we planning on at least talking to this fellow, or are we rushing in there
We've
with our weapons?
already spoken with them.
Well, yes, but do we give him a chance to at least leave?
Be a good one, eh?
I don't think we're going to be able to talk an angel out of something he thinks is right.
Not to mention, what will stop him from just moving somewhere else and continue what he is doing?
It's feasible, but what he's doing is monstrous. I mean, theoretically, it's not hurting anyone. He's just grave robbing. But, I mean, he tried to steal the Baron's newly dead son. Not the Baron, but the Burgermeister.
Speaking of, if he's making a blight for Strahd, why was he needing boy bits?
He was stitching. It's a valid question.
I know this is 2019, but
Strahd's flex.
Yeah.
Strahd's
Strahd,
adventurous.
Strahd turned down the first generation, so now he's trying kinks. It's a trap.
my thoughts exactly.
Speaking of parts, I forgot to burn this arm.
Why do you have an arm?
That's friend's arm.
Oh.
What?
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Oh,
You
I
have
remember.
You have an arm on you, Warwick?
No, don't worry about it.
It's rotting.
You just need an extra hand.
No, it's just me. You know?
Well, I'm glad we're speaking about it. I did not want to mention that smell myself, but it really is quite bad.
This whole time I thought it was you, but now that you mentioned an arm...
It's mostly the armor. I forget to take off the rotten flesh sometime.
Yeah.
Probably smells real bad, but I think my sense of smell died off years ago.
That is feral now that I think of it.
What? What, the rotting flesh on the arm or the arm?
Yeah, so imagine you're like a dude in 15th, 16th century, and this monstrous 5 foot tall, 5 foot wide warrior covered in razor blades and human flesh walks into your village and asks for a beer. Oh, God. I'd be calling the Inquisitor, man.
I'd be
Yeah.
fucking giving him his beer.
And then calling the Inquisitor.
No one offers to clean me up. I'm not doing it.
We'll just drop you in a river.
Mhm.
We'll like try and hold you there while the currents kind of wash over you.
You slice your hand clean open. Maybe get infected too.
Maybe I'll just leave you in the river then, and you can I don't know, figure it out.
Don't know if I can swim.
You're going to go into the village with the wine, or are you on special forces operation hills or the mountains to come in from behind? As it said, are we talking to this guy, or
We should.
are we going commando from the start?
I feel like we should at least let the Burgermeister know what we're going to do.
We should descend via helicopter.
Does anyone have
Holy
an
Shatter on this bitch.
Does anyone have an
Okay.
RPG
Use
flying around?
helicopter.
Alright, Vorin, just start spinning your grey axe above your head really quickly.
Unfortunately, we are not high enough level to commit a feasible aerial assault.
Unfortunately.
We don't have fly yet. Where's that transmutation
But-
wizard at?
Yeah.
You do have a lot of ravens. If you got like blankets and put the ravens each grab a
Do we have
corner of the
enlarged?
blanket.
God.
Flight of the Ravens.
Enlarge, that's even better.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that could work. Except a large raven would only be medium sized, so
Are they tiny or diminutive?
yeah, they'd be
They're only small.
tiny or small, one of the two.
Yeah.
What if what if you get reduced? So we reduce Anton and I pick him up and throw him onto the roof. Does that count as aerial assault?
Yeah.
Cool, we'll do that.
The
Oh,
damage
I
would
do have
be
polymorph.
terrible.
That
You
too.
you have polymorph?
7th level bard, baby.
That changes everything.
I
you
don't
know.
even have first level spells. What?
Okay, in that case, it suddenly area does actually become possible. Maybe not feasible, but possible. You could use your giant eagle to send everyone up on and go from there. It's not exactly an aerial assault, but it is. Anyway, I guess all I'm saying is that we have two major options. We can either walk in through the front gates of Kresk, or we can go clandestine from the start. The Martin cogs are not going to give your game away. They don't really know your game. They don't know that you're here on an assassination mission, but they are as loyal to you as anyone that you're going to find in Barovia, short of Ivana herself. And so you would hope that they could be trusted after everything you've done for them.
We could let them drop off the wine and speak to
So
the
here's my
Burgermeister.
proposal. We tell the Burgermeister what we're doing, and we don't ask him to help assault the Abbey with us, but we do ask him to get the town militia together, armed, ready, organized, in case there's some kind of assault on the village or anything, or if, worst comes to worst, we need reinforcements.
Hmm.
Because those monsters up there are definitively a threat to his village. There's no doubt about it, and they're stealing from his graveyard.
Well then, yeah, let's go talk to them. Let's go bring it up.
All right, the
so
decision is
I
made.
guess with the wine, we roll up to the gates of.
All right. The guards are the guards on the wall have their crossbows ready and anticipating trouble. But good day, we bring wine! Hooray! Everyone erupts in delight. And forgetting protocol, forgetting safety, they open the gates without further ado, just on the idea that there might be wine, and there is.
How to infiltrate a town.
Indeed, it is. That's right. Bring the drugs that they desperately desire. That is a very effective way. Just ask the British. Anyway. So,
And if they don't have a drug addiction, give them one.
Give them a
to go to conquer another nation, take their drugs, and sell them to the good guys. All right. So yeah, we're into Kresk, and everyone is delighted, and people rush to get their cups and have a drink, and kids are playing, not really sure why their parents are so happy. They are happy, and that's really what matters. There's only a handful of people that aren't excited by this arrival, and that's by the grave. Among them are the household guards and big heavy fur, and they're digging a grave. Not the Burgomaster, of course, but they're digging a grave. Or wait, they're digging a grave?
Sorry, you went robotic there. I got like big town guards and something about a grave.
Aha! I thought I was spiking, and I wasn't sure how much you got. All right, so happy in the town, except for those digging the grave. You see the Burgomaster and some of his guards, but they're not digging a grave. They're digging up a grave.
Is,
Oh,
I thought
is Mark nearby as well?
He is with the
Wipe sweat off brow.
I think he said Ismark is nearby. Yeah,
Master.
he's with the Burgermeister.
Yeah.
The Burger Master.
All right.
That's what they call managers at Macca's.
Yeah, I guess we'll go up to the Burgermeister. Kind of approach and.
What does the gravestone say? If there is one.
It's his son. He's digging up
Are you?
his
Hello, Burgermeister.
son. I can hear you,
Yeah, we can't really hear you at all. Well, at least
but
I
you
can't.
can't. No. You should wait harder.
You could try reconnecting to the voice server.
Good. Yep, that seems to have been effective.
Hey.
Excellent
Alright,
idea. Excellent idea. All right. They are digging up the Burgermeister's grave. You approach the Burgermeister, and Ismark kind of sort of steps forward to intercept you or to offer support for his adopted father. You get the scene where he's trying to intervene but doesn't have the boldness or authority or temperament to intervene. So he's offering support. Yeah.
Anton will go up to Ismar, kind of sidle up and say, "What's going on here?"
Well, it's something most unusual. Happy day, says the old Burgermeister. Oh, happy day! Would that blessings would come to us in threes. Last night I saw the stars for the first time in a decade. And you have come back and bringing wine. Oh, but the greatest blessing of all, the abbot has The abbot has offered to raise my son from the dead.
Did he, under what circumstances was this offer made?
Oh, I see you are a canny one, as canny as you are wary. He did make a demand, I admit. A simple enough demand, reasonable. A wedding dress, that's all. A wedding dress. All I need do is fetch a wedding dress, and my son will be back in my arms.
I see. And Anton will kind of look at Ismark, and then did the rest of the party come with him?
Yeah, I'm with you at the moment.
Yeah, he's gonna look over at Olenway and, like, where they can't see his face, give, like, I don't even know what kind of fucking face to make for this. But, like, disapproving, but also, like, hopeful, I guess.
I look at the
yeah.
Burgomaster dead in the face. We come bearing news that you might not like, Burgomaster.
Anton,
must it be brought to my ears on this day of three blessings?
Perhaps not. A word, Olenway, if you would.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah, and I'll kind of pull her off to the side and say, listen, I don't trust the abbot, and he's most certainly insane, but on the other hand, he is an angel. Perhaps I didn't trust him to resurrect Dukovic or Sven, and I don't think either of them would have wanted to be resurrected, but perhaps by doing this we could bring the Burgermeister's son back, and honestly then, if we still want to, we can kill the angel or the abbot afterwards. But this way, I mean, if we tell the Burgermeister right now we want to kill the abbot, he's going to turn against us most certainly.
And he may do the same if we turn on the man that brought back his son.
But then at least his son will be brought back. We'll be much more able to reason with him. Or if, it is some kind of monstrous thing done to his son, then at least we'll have a good argument for why we need to kill the abbot.
I don't like the idea of seeing how it plays out, but I trust you, so...
I do not understand where this conversation...
Sorry?
I do not understand where this is going. I thought you brought us here to kill one of Strahd's allies.
No, he is...
I did, but not if there's a possibility he could bring back the grieving Burgermeister's son. I only think this because he is a divine being. I imagine resurrection is within his purview. I don't know if there would be some kind of side effect, but right now, if we tell the Burgermeister we want to kill the abbot, he's going to turn this entire village against us.
And yet, if this abbot is one of Strahd's allies and he revives the Burgermeister's son, will that not put the entire village on Strahd's side?
The Burgermeister would probably be grateful, but there would still be a threat to the village. At least his son would be back already. Killing the abbot wouldn't change that. We'd be in a much better position to at least argue that it's a good idea. Or if it has side effects that we can show to the abbot, then at least the illusion will be broken. He'll know his son can't be brought back, and we can, he'll support us killing the abbot.
I'm not sure the Burgermeister appears to be the most rational. this point in time.
All we know is that he desperately wants his son back. And I think even if there is a chance that this could bring his son back, I feel a responsibility to at least try. Put off killing the abbot until we can see if he can do some good before we kill him.
So the fact of the matter is, he dies regardless, right?
Unless him resurrecting this child really really changes our mind. Does that sound reasonable to everybody?
Yeah.
All we have to do is get him a wedding dress.
Where the hell are we going to find the wedding dress? Hmm?
My thoughts exactly. Oh,
I
Yeah,
think
is anywhere.
Ivana speaks up. I think that you will only find a wedding dress where you find a rich woman. People in Barovia cannot afford such luxury. You should look in the closets of somebody wealthy.
What about that happy place?
Balaki?
Clicks his finger. Yeah, that is one. They're pretty well off, aren't they?
They did have like noblemen and such.
I think
They had a toy maker. They probably have a tailor.
I would likely be able to make one using my divine magic.
Would it be permanent? I don't want to
Yeah.
try to deceive him on this.
No, it would be a I just need the materials, textiles, and so on, and I think I could do it.
Fabulous. I don't know if they have anything like that. What would you need, like lace?
Well, I personally am not aware of what material you would use to make a wedding dress, but I imagine it would be fine and rare materials, textiles. Silk,
Ideally, silk and lace.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you can use your imagination.
And I'm not too sure where we would find those materials. Certainly not in a
We'll
place
see
like
if the
this, I don't think.
Burgermeister has anything like that, and if not, we could probably purchase them in Valaki for much cheaper than it would be to hire a tailor anyway.
Yeah. So out of character, the idea is fabricate, because I have fabricate. I think that works. I'm not sure if I would be able to use like any color of garment, any like mixture of like material to make a dress with fabricate, but I think it'd work.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. In fact, actually, you'd probably have to add the dyes as well, but you wouldn't have to mix them. Just basically get creative.
Right.
If you were in a big city, you could go and pick and choose, but you're not. Here you have wool from sheep. You have the dyes that you can get from fruit. You might get purple from grapes, for example. And I don't know, beyond that.
Yeah. Okay.
How's the Burgermeister dressed?
That's an excellent question. And he has some of the most finery you've seen on anyone within Barovia. His clothing is of an older style, but it's of extremely high quality. But yeah, so while his clothing might be musty, it's made of good quality garments, including, as we mentioned, some lace, maybe around his cufflinks, a little bit of silk, maybe his ties and his strings. If you can think of what an aristocrat from like France or England in like the 16th century, maybe. That's kind of what we're looking at. So just envision something like that, and you'll probably find it in his wardrobe somewhere.
All right. Anton's going to approach him once again and say, Lord Burgermeister, we've decided to help you with this with the abbot's request. Our cleric here, Lenway, is as long as she's given the raw materials, she's capable of using her divine magic to fabricate a dress, as it were. We would simply need to borrow some of your clothes, or perhaps your wife's.
Oh, well, we have many clothes, many chests of clothes that we no longer use. Often distribute them to the villagers, but we're happy for you to go through what's left, and when you eventually do go through the stuff, you'll find not only coats and socks and undergarments, but also curtains and sheets and carpets, and in a wide range of colours and of fabrics and certainly styles. Again, if you can think of like the amount of materials that might be in an old-fashioned Gothic English Edwardian house, tablecloths, doilies, I don't know, anything, hand towels.
Yeah.
There's so much here, and it's all very old, but it's also very good quality. Like going to your great grandmother's place or great aunts and going through her chest of drawers.
As we're sort of getting the materials together, Anton's going to try to find the Burgomaster alone at some point, and is that doable?
Yeah, he's napping, and one of the guards goes and has his lunch and basically leaves him unguarded for 20 minutes, enabling you to go and have a chat with him if you're willing to wake the old man up from his slumber.
I honestly, I intended to do this as we were initially, like, before we started ransacking through his.
Sure. Okay, back and so yeah, a bit of a retcon. That's no problem at all.
Yeah.
And he's maybe going back to the body's been dug up. We hit the coffin. The coffin comes out of the grave. The guards take the coffin away, and he can't keep up with them. Even though they're carrying a coffin, he's still slower than them, and that enables you to walk beside him and put his coat on his shoulders. Yeah. All right.
Lord Burgermeister, I hate to be so crass as to ask something for helping you bring your son back, but there is something we require. In exchange for us helping you with this dress, would you be willing to provide a favor for us in the future?
If I live long enough, then I should see it fitting that you receive that you desire.
Even if it's something you might not necessarily agree with.
He stops. He coughs a bit. I cannot agree to anything unless my wife assents to it as well.
I would speak with her then as well, but it's simply I'm going to need a favor in the future, no questions asked, and it's something that's very important, but I need you to agree to it in advance.
I'm in no position to bargain. My son is more dear to me than my life itself. And he looks up at you shrewdly and he says, "But I cannot endanger the lives of my people for the life of even my most beloved son." if your request might doom us all, I will find my own wedding dress. He begins to hobble off.
Well, that is the nature of it. I believe it will save your people. You might think it may endanger them.
Would you have supper with my wife and I tonight? As I said, without her consent, I dare not rule.
Certainly.
Men may hold all the power in town hall, but it is women who hold the reins at the dinner table.
Anton laughs and says, I'll bring the wine.
Good lad. But his smile sort of fades away as he does himself. And so you are able to discuss this development if you wish with the party, or we can cut to the dinner.
Well, we would be able to do the fabrication first, wouldn't we? It was just getting stuff together and the casting the spell, right?
We can't actually, because I don't have it prepared. We have to do it tomorrow.
Alright then. Anton's gonna go to dinner, and he'll specifically invite a Wenwei, but anybody else who would like to come along is free to.
I'm not sleeping outside again.
Out of character, you might need to fill me in on kind of what just transpired, purely because I was AFK. Sorry.
I tentatively tried to get the Burgermeister to agree to do me a favor in exchange for the wedding dress, and he basically told me that he can't agree to something that would endanger the village without talking it over with his wife, so he invited me to dinner with him and his wife.
Okay. Plus, it'll be nice to get a nice cooked meal. We've had nothing but bloody rations while we've been out on the road.
All right. So while the rest of you are eating your, well, it's not meager fare because we have orchards here and we have eggs that we can steal. So it's you'll get by. But it's only the two of you going to dinner.
I'd join.
Yeah, I think we'd join just for the fact we hope to get like a respite for the night as well.
Excellent.
But good food too. Food's good.
You don't regret it.
Oof.
They serve a perennial favourite for this time of year, late in the fall, at the beginning of winter. That's kind of transitory period. It gets colder here, much colder than it already is. It's turkey. Turkey with cranberry sauce and all the trimmings. Potatoes and broccoli and every carrot and pumpkin and every vegetable that you can roast. And it's all served, and the wine flows freely and frequently, and it is without doubt the finest fare that you have engaged in for several moons, unless you happen to sample Strahd's delectable dinners.
I don't believe we did. I think the second we sat down at the table, that was when the place started trying to kill us.
I don't know what you're missing.
Sven did.
Though I actually think I did steal a wine goblet as we ran out.
I don't think it tried to kill us there. When we left, it tried to kill us. But,
Yeah, Sven,
I mean,
you were all paranoid, but Sven did scoop up a drumstick and a drink of wine, and it was to die for.
It was to die for. A last supper.
Doesn't come close to those
Anyway,
kitty
yeah.
patties you had, Anton.
That's true, but I stand corrected. This food, tasty as it is, doesn't take you to other worlds. My husband said that you had something you wished to talk about, dear.
Indeed, I do. And Anton's going to use his universal speech ability on them just because it gives it advantage on charisma checks. So let me make sure I don't get a 1 here.
Pulling out all stops. Ismark is there, that's right. He is passing the gravy.
Alright, he'll include his mark in this, though. And I'll say, yes. So my companion here has the materials prepared to fabricate a wedding dress to help resurrect your son. But I'm not going to lie to you, Burgermeister or lady. I don't know what the appropriate term is out of character.
Nor do I, to be honest. We could Google it, but
Lady Burgermeister.
Babushka.
Lady of the house.
Anyway, Madam. Let's go with that, Madam. I won't lie to you either. Through the gates for your village, our intent was to enlist your aid in killing the abbot.
Ismark is coughing. You're going to do what?
You have not seen what we saw up in that abbey. It is a corrupted, unholy place, run by a celestial. The corpses from your graveyard he is stitching together to create a undead monstrosity that he believes he can convince Strahd to love. That is,
Oh dear.
I suspect, what the wedding dress is for.
The old woman catches her breath.
The only thing staying our hand at the moment from storming the abbey and slaying this abomination is the fact that he is a celestial, and I believe he does possess the power to raise your son. So I ask of you, though you may feel gratitude for him if he does do as he promises, that after your son has been raised, you aid us in ridding this threat to your village.
The Burgermeister drinks
And
deeply.
I don't know if an attack on top of it, but
what was that last bit?
and I don't know if this is a little bit much attack on top of it, but I do have this.
The about halfway through your or towards the end perhaps of your speech, the Burgermeister drank deeply of his wine. He almost seems to gulp it down, finishing a serving of wine in a single draft. When he lays down the glass and the red wine dribbles down the side of his old, wizened, wrinkled face, he looks up at you and gives you the same look, returns the same jaded stare. His wife doesn't know what to say, and nor does Ismark. You would murder all of those creatures just because they are uneducated or ghastly to look upon? You yourselves are something abhorrent in the eyes of more proper people.
Apologies.
That entire place is a madhouse. You've not been up there. Nothing there is right. 2 of our members died up there.
Tell me, the old woman asks, placing her napkin down, her meager meal no longer appetizing to her. What do you think of the rumors that this, you say a celestial? This celestial being in league with the Lord Strahd?
Our companion here, Lenway, she's a cleric of the sun, the Lord of Light. She identified the creature as a celestial, yet when we encountered him, he had this woman stitched together from body parts, and when we asked what it was, he explained that he was attempting to break the curse of Strahd by helping him find love, believing that he could convince Strahd to love this creature and thus save this land.
There is
He's
is
mad.
absolutely no replacement for the one that he loves already, and there's no way that this plan works. And the fact that it is what it is morbid in and of itself, but it's naive, and well,
Strahd is
himself.
monomaniacally obsessed with a single woman that he lost. Not only is the plan insane, but it's abominable.
Could I just add, Burgermeister, have you ever heard of the story of the monkey paw?
He shakes his head, but his wife nods. I have. It is a gift, many wishes, but they all go very, very wrong.
Yes, you get what you want, but not in the way you expect. I just want you to be ready in case this wish that you are being granted does not eventually turn out the way you would like. I'm not saying it won't, but there is always a possibility with a corrupt celestial that things are not always as they seem.
What is he saying? He asks his wife, but she ignores her husband. You are right, and if things go wrong, then it would be good if you are by our side to cast your discerning eye on our son and convince me that he has not returned from the grave with some aberration.
Of course, it would be my honor.
Even if he does not, though, do you not see that he threatens your village and he corrupts the holy
The
abbey that
Bellevues
sits above your
wanted
village?
this themselves. They are an old family, rival of our own, our only rivals, really. The Bellevue are a wealthy family. Be something different. They wished to be more than human. All the abbot did was give them what they wanted. Haven't a person a right to choose their own destiny? Isn't that how we ended up like creatures like yourselves? Once were you all normal humans, but your species came about through mutating divergent magics. You wanted too much. Of course, some of you are better than us. He looks down at Anton. I know the legend of your own people, where a man was placed in a chamber and his good and evil parts were separated, and all that is good are the halflings. I acknowledge that you are a peaceful people, but nonetheless, each of you are naught but humans, degraded into some other form, just the same as those critters on the hill. No different. I don't know if they need to be exterminated. And yet, dear, do not that cause so many problems? His wife responds. Did they not attempt to dig up our own boy and listen to them, to knit him into some kind of monstrosity? I cannot abide this. I am sorry, Darian. I must side with the strangers. If their cause is doomed, if they fail as the Mad Mage failed, and 100 heroes have failed before, then at least they tried. And she puts her hand on Elenway's hand, and they bring the blessing of the sun. Did you not see the stars last night? I saw them for the first time, as long as I can remember. And I believe that these stars were brought by these travelers. Stars? Did you not see the blood moon? If they bring the stars, they bring the moon too.
By dawn we shall get rid of that moon also. But there are steps we must take before that.
And the moon is tricksy as well. It waxes and wanes and dances and is chaotic in its movements. It has been the way for millennia.
Well, it seems you have made your minds up, says the old man. I have not the power to stop you, and I also lay down my authority, as I always have done to my wife. I want to see if my son can return. I ask that you do not desecrate his grave with violence. But when my son is back in my arms, and this priestess has shone her light upon him and given him her blessing, then you shall be free to do with the abbey as you see fit.
Thank you, Lord Burgomaster.
Don't thank me, thank her. This is not my authority. If we are in heaven, I will have no part of this, he says with a smile. Oh, my husband, you know that heaven is just a myth.
Thank you as well, madam. So is the evening ruined at that point, or do we continue partying on?
At that point, the pumpkin pie is served, and it has cream and custard.
Oh no, they killed Pumpkin for pie.
Donkey pie with custard.
Ass pie. Nice.
I like that.
Meat's a
We're eating
luxury
ass.
in this town.
Oh god.
Literally eating ass.
I'll be
Literally eating ass.
eating. I forgot.
Toughest ass in Slumberhaven.
Oh, no, sorry, we're still eating. Never mind. Damn. Yeah, it wouldn't be tasty. He's well, like, Pumpkin's well worked now. Like he's hardened. Is it
And
he or she?
yeah, he was he was a battle donkey from the start. Remember?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I told someone to balls up and roll for his HP, and we got max roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we looked for like a hardy like war donkey or some shit, and we
I
got a
chose
good roll
well.
for that too.
Yeah.
Dwarves have good eyes for hardy creatures.
Best 10 gold pieces ever spent.
We got it for free, actually.
Just in case I'm not here for when we do the long rest, I'd like to attune to that axe.
It
as
is it's a +1 great axe that does, I think it's an extra D12 damage to plants, D12 necrotic damage to plants, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So as you, I guess, settle down in your accommodations for the night, red light filters through the windows in the northwest.
Red moon.
Is it closer?
Doesn't appear to be any different, but you'd have to make an astrology check, which is history, because there is no astrology skill.
Does anyone is anyone holding on to the tome? I might read through
I've
it.
got it in
tonight.
my park.
Yeah, pass it here.
Yeah,
I'll
Anton's. Yeah, I thought Anton was holding on to, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, thank you.
Well, whoever's got it, would you mind if I read through it this evening?
So
Knock
I'll
stuff
read it
out.
together, right? Like some sort of, study group.
Well, we can. Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't. Sure. Get a fire going.
Unless like someone wants to watch me like chop the orb to pieces with the sun sword.
Which orb?
And this one.
And I pull out the orb of the supplicant from the basement of the death house.
Oh, my. Yeah, best be rid of something like that.
Regardless, let's read the book.
All right. So how does this work, Ark? Do you select a section of the book to read?
Correct. So this is best described as an enigma in the classical definition of the word. Strahd has set things out in his own personal code. He uses pictograms. He writes his words backwards. He writes the words out of order. And all in all, it's a fucking headache to sit down and try to get into his head and discern what he's saying. But throughout all of it, his megalomania is clear. And that is the writing's greatest weakness, because he's oh so clever that he becomes predictable once you begin to discern the patterns.
Sure.
In the end, it ends up being, I think, what's the check? Does it say what type of check it is? Investigation or history or what?
It just says secret passages, and it just lists them. It doesn't list a DC or anything like that.
Doesn't say that. Yeah, okay, cool. So here we go. It's investigation rolls. Yeah, so you pick a passage, and you can expect that the lower ones tend to be easier than the higher ones, but that's not necessarily true. You just go from there. Amber Temple 2 is probably a lot harder to discern than Tatiana 1.
Yeah.
Are the chapters like? Can we just like read the names of these chapters normally, except everything else is
Not exactly. So they don't have chapter headings, for example, but in Tatiana 1, the word Tatiana appears fucking time and time again. And so you just end up calling that one Tatiana. Oh, hang on, there's another Tatiana section. Okay, there's another Tatiana section. Okay. This one he's talking about armor. This one he mentions his spell book, and these are the names that you give them rather than that he's given them.
so the names so it was like sort of shorthanded for the
Precisely.
based on what he talks about the most in the
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Exactly.
That's sick.
with the quick flip through.
That's exactly how it is.
I wonder what the Umber Temple is.
Well, I'm thinking maybe we'd look more into the Mother Night sort of area.
There's plenty.
Given the moon and all, I don't know. That's my kind of base inclination.
What if we tore it apart and went into each at the same time? Might make more of a mess of things. I don't know.
Or even the passage about God, just being a god. Does anyone have any idea? Anything they'd like to start with? Anything in particular bugging them?
I mean, like, you could go for the head and go straight for immortality.
We could certainly try it. Yeah. There's a lot here.
Yeah, probably the most useful. Yeah.
Immortality? Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, Amber Temple, perhaps.
Hey, it could be like allies, people that are pains in his ass.
What
Or
about
Silver
heart?
Knight.
Heart could mean multiple things, but all good to know about.
Maybe it's, I don't
Yeah.
know, talking about Tatiana again.
Yeah, Tatiana 4, we could see what happened to her.
He really likes Tatiana. Doesn't
The upwards passage explained pretty much everything.
he? Yeah. The Silver Knights as well. Have we heard that name before? Why does that?
Did we?
We saw like a Death Knight, I think.
Yeah, was that the Silver Knight?
He had a
Like-
silver dragon on his
I remember
shield.
something silver. That was it.
All right. No,
Ambitions. See what he wants to do.
I reckon Heart. I think Victor's onto something here.
Alright, yeah.
That could either be.
If this is love poetry, I'm gonna be pissed.
His heart, or
I'll
maybe
admit it,
could
Anton.
be.
You love it.
Oh, Anton's down, but I'm gonna be pissed.
All right. So I think I'll settle on the Heart, and I'm gonna pray to the sun for guidance. As
You
We've got a
pick
group
one of the
of, like,
hardest
4 hard.
ones.
Oh really? Oh fuck.
You really do. Like you look at it, mind-boggling. But if that's what you want to do, this is it.
All right. So with the guidance and my investigation of -1.
And who's giving? Is anyone providing advantage?
We're in a big study group
yeah.
together, so just
In a big study group. The study group is perfect.
Anton's got investigate.
I'm just like rolling the ball around.
All right. Add all your modifiers. Oh, is that a total of 12? Or just 8?
That's a total of 12 with the guidance.
My God, the
With
DC is 25.
advantage
Oh my god.
I don't even
Or-
think I couldn't
I
get it.
know,
Like-
right?
Assistance gives advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's literally impossible for me.
Yeah, the
even
assistance.
even with guidance and advantage, I could not do it.
Yeah.
I'd help you out if it was about like stone structures.
Oh. Then, can I take a crack at it?
Yeah.
Can
Alright.
I will guide you instead. I impart a blessing.
Inspiration
of
is
the
how you
Alright.
kind of spy yourself.
I cannot.
oh,
sun. Oh, you have
plus
Ooh.
guidance.
You have guidance. You have.
Guidance as well. Come on.
That's a D4.
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Right,
god. That makes it. Just makes it.
Tell me about Strahd's heart, baby.
And
Let me read that
And
sweet,
it's
sweet
just
love
love poetry. Yeah.
Alright, I might just cut and paste. That's probably the fairest way to do. That way you've got the notes.
Dracula and eggs.
Pin it in journal or something.
I'll just put it at the bottom of this. So, in fact, I'll add it to the numbers. It's called Heart, wasn't it? So, Heart will now have a paragraph beside it.
Anton working out Strahd's code.
Yeah.
And this is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's an anti-magic field in a tower. Kazan, is that the name of the wizard?
But isn't that the
Esmeralda would have told you
tower?
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
She calls it Van Richten's tower, but a wizard called Kazan built it. She would know this.
That's the tower we stayed in. Because remember, magic wouldn't work in it.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty
that-
big.
His heart lies in the tower?
I'm pretty sure a heart that I think it means the heart that basically makes the castle come to life and defend itself. The heart of that lives in the tower within the. It separates him from the heart, so it must be in the tower somewhere.
I see, and he wants it for himself, perhaps. Okay.
Well,
What
obviously,
have we
yeah.
got?
Yeah.
Or
I think it's
where
like
are we?
whatever
Where's
is
this
in.
posted?
Oh, this
it's
is
in,
in the
it's in the
it's
time of Strahd.
Tome of Strahd.
Time of
hand
Strahd,
up.
where you
Ah,
read the secret
scroll down.
passages. It's right down with heart.
What if like he's the heart? It's like in the Kazan's tower, and it's what he uses to maybe move around his castle. Use it, whatever.
Well, he might have one of the same.
Activate all the things, but he can't get there, right? What does that mean?
Because of the anti-magic portal or such.
Or is he like magical and all his bodily systems shut down once he walks into it?
I think not. It's not a literal heart. It is figurative for castle, not him.
It says the heart is glass.
I think it means it is very
Yeah.
easy to kill, not actual glass.
Maybe it is
Uh,
glass, though. You know.
It might
I think it's
actually
some
be
kind
glass.
of yeah. I'm guessing it's some kind of orb or like some kind of magical orb.
Or
Like
yes.
yeah, something that's tied to his castle. Or it says that he's sheltered from the unthinkable. Perhaps
Okay.
it keeps him alive somehow. Like I don't know. Does the concept of a phylactery exist in our world?
Yeah, yeah. Soul gems and souls go together. Like
Yeah, perhaps some kind of phylactery, like where he keeps his soul. It would certainly make calling it his or the heart apropos.
I must be cautious of such places.
Is this the one that
Certainly.
had the sword that was trying to dismantle the sword, Kazan? Does anyone know?
No, it wasn't. It was. I think Kazan. Oh, from memory, Kazan was supposed to receive it, but then like an apprentice removed the blade from the hilt or something like that.
yeah.
I think. It escapes me at the moment.
When did we find out? Okay.
Roughly how much time does it
It
take
was
to go
Kazan.
through
There you go.
these passages, Arctic? Does it depend on the difficulty? Like if we were to choose an easier thing, we could get another one done, or once per long rest sort of thing, like to allow us to rest. Like what are we?
yeah. I think an hour is probably long enough. They suggest a day, but I don't think that's. I don't think it would take that long with so many of you working on it. So, an hour of downtime would probably be enough for you to to make that breakthrough.
I feel like if we are going to kill the devil Strahd, we should know what this chapter on immortality has to say.
And reincarnation toward the front. Maybe he's been felled before, but
Well,
like got up again.
Yeah,
I think
This entire land, they supposedly at least operates on the concept of reincarnation. I think everything in here reincarnates. Irina earlier mentioned that if you die in Ravenloft, sometimes your soul stays here. In fact, most of the time.
I think the rebirth, or what is it called, reincarnation, considering it's at the start of the book, it might be from when he actually becomes a vampire and sells his soul, right? Not when he dies and comes back. Well, he might die and come back. I don't know how vampire work, but that's what I think.
Immortality. Good chapter to probably read. I think they're all like. I think we should read them all. Honestly,
we should get to all of them at some point. Yes, we should try.
Aye.
Immortality. Let's do it.
Do we again?
I think
okay.
we've heard Mother Night somewhere, but I can't remember where.
I think that Mother Night is one of the hags.
I thought it was something with a Vistani, but I basically only remember hearing it.
Yeah. I think I've heard that name before, but I can't.
Is Ivana here? Irina. I keep saying yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is
would have
Irina here?
taken her to dinner.
She says that Mother Night is the like the goddess of darkness, but not darkness. She's the goddess of the moon, the goddess of night. She's not as nice as the sun god, the morning lord, but she's not. She wasn't originally evil, but apparently has gotten evil over the years. She doesn't know her religious studies, but she knows enough to know that there are two gods, a male, a female, a day and a night, and Mother Night is the less savoury of the two. So in that way, she's almost identical to this obviously isn't Irina saying this, but from what Irina tells you, she's not dissimilar to your own dual pantheon back on your own home world, which has a patriarchal sun god and a somewhat mischievous and mystical moon god.
So Night Mother might be interesting, considering what happened to the moon, no?
That was what I was
Indeed.
originally thinking, yeah. It might give us some insight into what's happening. Regardless, I will guide you again, Anton. Lay a blessing of the sun upon you.
All right, big money, big money.
Hopefully this one's easy. Which one are we doing, actually?
Can I get a immortality for 13?
Yeah, something tells me I ain't gonna cut it.
I suspect not. No. No.
Right.
You spend an hour and nothing.
We'll have to try again some other time.
All right, this one's harder.
Let's leave this one. Let's put this on the shelf for now. Give it some thought. We can come back to it.
We should rest. We have a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
Indeed.
So in the morning, we fabricate the dress, give it to the abbot.
Before we hit the sack arc, as I'm kind of gearing up for bed, can I cast? I'm going to cast Locate Creature, and I'm going to name Strahd von Zarovich.
What's the range?
1,000
feet.
Yeah.
He's not within 1,000 feet of you.
Kind of breathe a sigh of relief, and then go to bed.
Cast it 5 seconds later. He's right behind you.
Right behind you. Use teleport.
Teleports behind you. Nothing personal.
Perfect. Dawn comes. But those of you who are awake namely Mindatus, maybe some others. Might want to wake everyone else up too. It's up to you. Because it seems that there's some activity down by the cemetery. It seems that the ritual is going to be today at dawn.
Is the abbot down there already? Or?
Mindatus is awake. Are you?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. If they've all had a long enough sleep kind of thing, otherwise I'll just be watching from afar until stuff goes south.
You would see Mindatus in the pre-dawn light, before the light breaks over the horizon, or just as a pinkness is tenderizing the horizon. You see a glowing procession coming down the winding switchback path from the abbey towards the village. And is it the abbot? You can only speculate. So you wake everyone up, and you find yourself waking up as cocks crow and the most eager morning birds tweet, but there isn't really much light to speak of.
I'm gonna handing out aid again to the same targets.
Excellent.
Is it time already?
Oh, we stay up too late studying that damn book.
Yeah.
Not me. What are you looking at, Mindartus?
It's maybe the abbot coming down the hill.
Christ. Don't Celestials ever sleep?
What's he doing up so early?
I don't know. I've been watching for a little bit now. Looks like something may be starting.
The resurrection already.
We haven't even given him his wedding dress.
We best.
Indeed.
No, I'm not saying it is, but it's session of some kind.
We best get out there anyway. We even no matter what it is, we should be there.
I smell trouble. I don't like it.
That, my friend, is the smell of adventure. As I grab my new axe, head outstairs.
It's a chill morning. It's a very, very crisp morning. There are light flakes of snow that are falling and that are melting away as the pink light turns to gold. And you are among the first people to reach the cemetery, but you're followed not long after the Burgermeister and his wife, and they're trailed by a bleary-eyed, unshaven Ismark who isn't used to this pre-dawn service. And after them will come the guards bearing the coffin, but it may take a few minutes before they arrive. You are among the first here, and so you can see the glow, the illuminated figure. It's difficult to make out through the mist, its exact dimensions unclear, but its angelic form is obvious. A beautiful human form with radiant light coming out of its shoulders as if it's wings, and from its crown as if it bore a halo. The glory of this image that comes through the mist is simply divine. Are we armed and armored?
I am.
I just have my axe on me.
I have my armor on and my
Yeah,
weapons,
Anton's
sheath and such.
Oh, yeah.
in his armor. Got his sword and crossbow.
When his wife, the bishop turned up, the abbot. But when the old woman sees how heavily armed you are, what is the meaning meaning of this, she scolds you. Do you expect to turn this place into a bloodbath? This is holy ground.
Huh.
Are you
Absolutely
truly
not.
agents of the good or not?
We have
I got
no
the holy
intention of
weapon.
fighting here.
Then you do
Yeah.
not need your weapons, nor your armor.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it all.
Is this the
Yeah.
Burgomaster's wife?
It is.
I kind of
Yeah.
like look at her and in my eyes.
Yeah.
You told me to be here in case things go south. What am I supposed to do with nothing?
The Burgomaster shrugs at his wife.
We're adventurers. They can go wait over there, but I mean, I have a sword. I'm not exactly intending to stab the abbot at the moment.
Clearly having not being able to break through the thick-headedness of men, she turns to Elenway and said, "You told me you would examine him. You told me you would make sure that he was pure. You would give him your blessing. What is this? These men are prepared for massacre."
Your Grace, I intend to examine your son, regardless of what happens between now and him coming back. But I must ask you, what happens if I turn to you and say that your son is evil? It is an abomination. It is... he's been raised for nefarious purpose. What then? You expect us to defend ourselves, you, the village, from a potential disaster with our bare hands? In meager clothing?
I expect you to have the wisdom not to make such a swift judgment. Inquisition takes time. Interrogation is not some instantaneous thing that one does with a glance.
By the light of the sun, I will determine whether or not your son is pure. Trust me. I have been gifted the power to do so.
What have we done, Darian? We have given control of this town over to mercenaries, to foreign killers.
You didn't
Madam, please calm yourself.
I beg to
Anton's
differ.
gonna.
Yeah, we're not mercenaries.
I'll go put my weapons down. What are you like? Stop whining.
No, you're not mercenaries. You're not doing it for the pay. You're doing it for the power.
What the fuck is
Ma'am,
wrong
we're
with this
doing it.
woman? We've been carrying our weapons with us since the first day here.
Yeah, we came into this town heavily armed because we
This
had
is
wine
sacred
and things
ground. This is a
We will-
divine ritual.
And you're about to desecrate that sacred ground by letting that asshole desecrate it for you. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to leave?
You swear and curse on a grave and tell me that I am the one desecrating what is holy? Darian, we have made a grave mistake.
I'll go pack my weapons away. Just whatever.
Please don't upset the Lady Burgermeister. Let's stand to the side. Only Lenway needs to be here for this.
I hurriedly kind of like snatch my mace like off of my belt, hand it to Anton, pull my hand axe out of my boot, hand it to Anton, the short sword comes out of the sheath. And, well, I'm in flames,
Lads,
so we're
like
gonna be
staggering a little bit.
I'm in
Vlad's
Thank
not
you, Anton.
removing any of his weapons. Like, had this shit
Yeah,
on us.
I turn to her
Yeah,
after
just
giving
get the fuck out of the graveyard.
I
Yeah.
turn to her after giving
Yeah.
my weapons to Anton and say, I part with my weapons as a sign of respect, and I hope that
Yeah,
you can
please, madam. We
meet me
you no
halfway.
harm. We're only prepared in case something goes very, very bad.
And
But
it's-
we have no wish to desecrate this place. We apologize for our intrusion.
It's gonna take me a long time to get out of this. I'm here. I don't want to hold up the ceremony, and I don't want to miss anything. Especially if it means I can be there the whole time. Unless you want to delay it, I'm happy to take it off, but we can just get it over with. I'm here now, let's go. I've complied, my weapons are with my friends.
She hesitates to answer, and as she does so, The mist seems to part, and much of the light seems to fade away, and you're looking upon the face of the abbot a few 100 feet away. They're just coming into the depths of town now, having reached the base of the mountain Strahd. He is unaccompanied.
Gonna turn to the group and say, now remember, unless the abbot does something very obviously harmful, we do not start a fight in this town. Okay, we wait until the abbot goes up to the abbey and we settle this there. Understood? It's particularly directed at Victor and Vlad, but you know, not that much directed.
I mean, I do not understand why we are tolerating an ally of Strahd for so long. It's obviously is not going to end well.
Because he's a grieving good man.
I do not mind, but I just didn't like the way the lady was treating us. I'll go stand over there, and he points outside the graveyard within eyeshot somewhere.
Yeah, I think we've all stepped outside the graveyard at this point.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We're huddled over here, and like Elenway's still standing there for the ceremony.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm taking off my armor like outside the graveyard.
You don't need to take it off outside the graveyard.
It's fine,
You
it's
just
fine. No, I got
Need
it.
to not be heavily armed in the graveyard.
No, wait. They don't know I've got the hilt, right? I'll just stand next to a Lenway with nothing else.
Just only Elenway needs to be there.
Fine, whatever.
I mean, I don't want to metagame. You can be there if you want, but
One short folk to another, I respect your decision.
we gotta look out for each other.
Aye, aye.
The flowing robes that the abbot wears, like some majestic toga, so magnificent you don't need to hold it with one hand. Magnificent garment that he wears of purest white that seems tinged with a glowing golden aura mean that his sandaled feet never actually seem to touch the ground, and neither do those robes ever become soiled, no matter how much filth he endures as he walks along the same trail that all mortal men walk along. And as this divine entity comes into view, even the cocks stop crowing. Even the dogs and the cats sit and watch as the divine presence, the celestial aura, washes over them, filling all present with the feelings of magnificence, of relief, of majesty, except for you. You who feel that you see through this veil, this visage. To you, you feel only compulsion, manipulation, a forced sort of sense of emotion that is the deceptive difference between lust and love. The abbot has arrived. Dearly beloved, I come to you today to return your son to. Yes, Abbot, please. My son, my only son, and Ismark doesn't really know how to take this. My last child died. And, Abbot, if it was in your divine holy power to return him to life, I pray you have mercy. And you bring my boy back from the dead. Dear Burgomaster, I have come to you to raise your son from the dead. Are there any here who doubt my power. The Burgomaster can't help but have a look at Elenway and they're in the party, look for their dissent or assent.
I mean, I don't really know how I would convey how Elenwe kind of feels. Like she doesn't doubt his power, only his intent. So I mean, yeah, I mean, there is no kind of disagreements or she doesn't indicate that she's disapproving at all.
Are there any here who doubt my holy word?
Victor, do you want to make a quick bet? Do you think the boy will be zombified or disformed?
Shh.
Sorry, was that to me?
A bet. Zombified or disformed?
I think he will be zombie.
I think vampire.
That's possible. I'm going to go with disfigured and disformed like this mongrel.
Actually, I changed my bet. I bet he come out woman. For wife.
Yeah, he's asking if anyone doubts him, and we're just making bets about how fucked up it's gonna be.
Yeah, the fucking peanut gallery over here.
Outside ears. Outside earshot.
Yeah, how far away are we, by the way, that should probably be established?
The graveyard itself is about 100 foot wide and 200 feet long, and they're in the middle of it. Means that the perimeter would be about 50 feet from where they're standing. You can be standing at the perimeter of the fence if you want to be looking over the fence, or you can be at any range beyond that.
Or we would have gone for like the outer perimeter to
Makes
particularly
sense.
placate the Lady Burgermeister.
I don't know. I feel like with her complaining and bitching about bringing weapons onto sacred ground, Vlad probably would have stopped really close to the fence, so that we're just outside the cemetery, so there's no weapons on sacred ground.
Don't piss her off. We're trying to get her help.
I was curious. How are they going to help kill him? They're not strong.
At least we're trying not to get the entire village to turn against us after we do it.
Oh, right, okay.
Are there here who doubt I have the blessing of the sun as it breaks over the horizon and casts light on the coffin? And that would Lenway. No reaction.
No.
No.
Yeah, I know what he is.
Then through the power of heaven within my hands, the lid is removed and the sun shines down on the lifeless body of the boy. And the beautiful man, his face carved of marble, his countenance androgynous and all the more attractive for it, leans down into the coffin and places his own rich, red, rosy lips upon the blue and papery lips of the dead boy and kisses him. And as he removes his lips from those of the corpse, there comes a startled gasp from his father, and his mother faints away. And the boy sits up and blinks. Elenway, you can roll a D100.
It's low bad.
Oh,
Low as no.
The boy looks around and gives a little chuckle. Gives a couple of chuckles. Starts cackling maniac. The father joins in the laughter. Oh, he laughs and embraces his son. Is going red, purple. He's having a fit.
Yeah, I start walking. I start taking steps back away from this, and I assume that they are like they're still just laughing.
Through the blessing of the sun, I have brought your boy to life. And yeah, they're laughing and laughing. And the old woman has passed out. The guards are, fanning her and holding her, and hoping she doesn't get dirty, brushing the mud off. And the father embraces the son. The son doesn't embrace the father, just looks around at each one of you and just laughs. It seems that with his face, from face to face, it just goes funnier and funnier. Victor with his beard and oh look at that, Mendatus is black. Oh my god, a black person, can you imagine? A tiny person. That person, he's so small and cute.
Get back to about 20 feet of distance, and I'm going to cast detect poison and disease.
Ooh, disease. Ooh, disease. I'll make a ruling here, and I'm going to call madness a disease. And this boy is afflicted with. I tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone seen the Joker?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what he's got, gentlemen.
So
It's
Oh.
for those of you who hasn't. It's a psychological affliction that forces the person to laugh as a nervous reaction, and so they can't help it. They just start laughing, or when they're under extreme stress, or some other situation. You know how some kids stutter or can't make eye contact. For these kids, it's laughter, and they just they laugh at everything. They that's
Right.
the whole thing is everything in life becomes so bizarre that they see through the absurd and just realize that, when you drink milk, you've just sucked the tits of a cow.
Yeah. Okay. And
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it.
And I'll also cast a detect evil and good as well.
Alright.
Basically, has the boy been properly resurrected, or is it some
Well,
undead fucking... Yeah.
the boy is neither celestial nor elemental, fey nor fiend, neither is he undead.
Alright.
There is a celestial here.
Yeah. I kind of... I'll walk over to the boy and the Burgermeister. I kind of like kneel down so I'm eye level with the kid and the Burgermeister.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, so with having cast Detect Poison and Disease, am I aware of what sets off the condition? In that, like, he's obviously very clearly very anxious and upset and nervous.
Exactly. You would see it from a medieval point of view, so
Sure.
nervous, twitch, his humours are no longer aligned.
Yeah, okay.
Not his humors.
Yeah,
He's got too many humours.
I just kind of like brush his cheek gently and say, like, relax, child. Like, it's okay. Like, you've returned from the Vale of Death.
Oh, he finds it absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
The Vale of Death, you call it, like your words just to him your choice of words. They set him off. Veil of death.
Mm.
Yeah.
Take note of
ecstatic.
take note of how kind of overjoyed the Burgomaster is, and then just nod at the abbot and make my way back to the party.
Now, Burgomaster, I wish for my wedding dress. Yes, it is currently being fabricated. A dress does not take so long to make. We shall be able to give it soon. You shall produce the dress within 3 days hence. 3 days? It seemed a bit too short to make a dress. Making a dress takes longer. You shall produce the dress and present it 3 days hence.
We did warn them.
The Burgomaster turns to Elenway with desperation.
Elenway was said they'd be right back.
Uh-huh. She will provide a assuring gesture, and the abbot prepares to return to the abbey.
The boy is alive, but fucking batshit crazy from the look of it. Are we prepared to kill this beast now?
Wait till he gets back to the abbey. We're not starting a fight in the town.
We'll take. Why don't we take the dress to him?
Why
Right.
not on
Yeah,
the road on the way back up? If we wait for him to go to the abbey, where he will have wave upon wave of his stitched up stars.
Please, they will not be much problem. I think a surprise attack when we give him the dress would be most optimal. We can get a surprise round, a surprise attack in before he even realizes what is going on.
Not to mention he keeps most of those things in cages. So long as we don't give him the opportunity to let him out, he only has the two as far as I saw.
I think so, yes.
So we just have to make sure that once we start fighting him, those two henchmen of his don't escape.
You talking about the the animal people?
Yeah, like the mongrels, the two that were guarding the gate, and were literally like, "Oh, you're here to see the abbot? Okay. The abbot wants to see you? Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, the abbot said it was cool for you to leave? All right. Yeah, those ones.
Simple folk.
Are we intending on killing them?
Only if
I
they
mean-
attack us.
I'm not entirely sure they're malicious, but they were grave robbing.
Under directions, they're like they look half human, half animal, right? That's probably wrong with their minds too. They follow directions a
Probably.
little bit easier.
I mean, from the looks of it, when the abbot used his magic to bring the boy back, it touched him a bit. Maybe whatever the abbot did to these creatures, the people in the abbey to turn them into those creatures, touched them as well.
How long's the kid been dead?
What day did we show up? Because that was the day they buried him, right?
Yeah, because I think he'd been dead for like 3 or so days. So I think it's been maybe about a week.
About a week sounds about right. Yeah, probably
About a
probably
week
quite close to 7
ago.
days.
Yeah.
And how long do you have to stay dead until, go a bit crazy from wandering in the afterlife?
I don't think it's from that. I think it's probably because he's a bit tainted,
Well,
Maybe.
my examination didn't yield any. I couldn't detect anything malicious about the boy.
Oh, so you lost? Is he a vampire? Did I win?
No, he's himself, as far as I
Is
can
he,
tell.
is he a woman?
assume not.
Damn
We're
it.
lost. Did
Did you
anyone
check?
bet on mental illness?
No. But did you check he was a boy? Did you check?
I no, I didn't. I
Ah,
didn't think
I
it
could
was.
still win. I like
well,
it.
you could go and check too if you wanted to, Vector.
Alright, I'll go check. No, alright.
Probably better we don't.
Alright, yeah. So the plan is, I guess we just wait till nightfall maybe, then like talk our way in through the front door, try to take out the abbot.
What if we see where this? What if we see him gift this the bride to Strahd first? Maybe that's a good time to pounce on Strahd.
I do not want the verse.
Do you want to try to take the abbot and Strahd at the same time?
Do you think the abbot will defend Strahd?
Alright. I think so. He's pretty deranged, no?
The from my understanding of that detect evil and good Arctic, just knowing that he's a celestial being, actually no, never mind. I don't think that's something that Elenway would know. That's okay.
I reckon before we act on it, there is a passage in the tome that we have dubbed Angel, right?
Oh,
Maybe
True.
we should read into
I,
that first.
I remember that one. Yeah, sure.
We've got all day to do it. Might as well check to try it. You know?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I didn't see that one.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
let's do that tonight and then move on the abbey tomorrow.
I mean, we got all day to study the book. We don't have to
Yeah,
do it.
technically we got 3 days before the abbot's gonna get pissed about not having a stress.
Yeah, we don't have to do it straight away.
It's really early in the morning right now. That was dawn breakfast, and by at 9 a.m. If you can begin studying, or if you wish, you can go straight up to the abbey. In any case, researching a passage will only take 1 hour. So if you put in 8 hours, you'd be able to get 8 passages done by the end of the day.
Yeah. Elenway, do you mind giving me a hand with this?
of course. Yeah. I'll I guide you.
All right.
Get
And
guidance.
you're proficient in investigation, right?
And I will help you. Am I? No.
Is anyone proficient in investigation?
Crickets.
All right then.
Creek croak.
19 for the angel passage.
You got a 24. If I'm able to help you, I will.
I think you need proficiency in the skill
Oh,
in
you
order
do?
to assist.
Oh,
with
okay,
it.
sure. Never mind then. So I didn't know that. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, we can have advantage, like with just because we've got the sheer numbers of the people.
All right. Then 24.
All right, I'm seeing if I've
Too many cooks don't spoil the broth.
can't find the book at the moment for some reason.
It's in the scarecrow.
Yeah, too many translators don't spoil the book.
It's in the scarecrow. Oh, there's the Tome of Strahd. Is that what it is? Yeah, there it is. In player handouts. Tome of Strahd. That's it. Which one are we looking at?
Angel.
Angel of Harlem. Right after Heart. Let's see. Right after Heart. Aha! Just barely.
I got a plan for when we fight this thing, though.
Give him
The
a
only
hug.
problem is I don't think Irina's gonna like it.
Bait.
Nah. Giant ape.
I was gonna. My next suggestion was cut up. Nah, that's right.
I mean, that is by, like, I'm glad I got that now, because I've, like, Irina's, like, possibly supposed to be the person who's gonna help us kill Strahd, but I'm a little worried about the whole 14 hit point thing. So being able to turn her into a giant ape whenever things get hairy is gonna be handy.
You're turning her into a giant ape. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, she just suddenly gets like 160 hit points.
I think we should probably show him this passage.
Aye.
But
You mean to turn one monster against another?
you should have heard the way he was talking at the ceremony this morning, though. He's so sure of himself. I have reason to believe he would call this a fake.
Don't think so. It's clearly like, an evil artifact.
I just think it will be difficult to reason with him is all. We can try it. I mean, we know what this is and what this book is, and it's evidence enough, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, we could take the shot at convincing him, and if all else fails, we'll be in a good position to take him out.
Interesting. The passage lists him as an angel. I wonder if that is true. An angel strides.
What Strahd calls him.
An angel strides Barovia.
Thought that's what you called him.
I mean, when you look around Barovia, nobody here seems to be from Barovia.
But I reckon we go up here the first day, show him it. If you want to fight him then, fight him then. But if not, maybe come back down and the next day we bring him the dress if he's not convinced. And then
Alright,
fight it or something.
should we go tell the Burgermeister that we're planning to take a run at the Abbey?
Now?
Are we planning to go now?
We could read more, or we could,
More time like the present.
Yeah, we can do a bit more reading, I suppose. I just don't want to go at this place at night.
Fair enough. It's only low at like 10 o'clock.
I think he said 9, but
We just spent an hour. So.
alright, yeah. Yeah, we can try to do a couple more passages, say, take 10 o'clock, 4 more passages, or
Sure.
at least 4 more attempts.
What do you reckon we should start with? Temple, immortality, Mother Night,
Let's
armor.
try.
I think Mother of Might or Immortality sounds good.
Yeah. I'm thinking Amber Temple, armor, immortality. Does that sound good?
Hey, sounds right.
Right?
Alright. Dope.
That was Amber Temple 1,
Yep, 23.
and that's Amber Temple 1.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, sorry.
Alright. No worries.
No
Right,
worries.
Angel, heart, angel. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Let's see. That should be right. Yep, it's there.
Maybe his armor is something to look into now.
Yeah, I think we're going armor next, and then Mother Night and Immortality.
Yep, this one's gonna be armor.
20 again.
Good shit.
Anton's like who's the fucker from the Enigma program?
Edward Nigma.
No,
Yeah, we'll
Turin.
go with it.
Turin? Alan Turin? Alan
Yeah,
Turing.
Turin.
Turing
Yeah.
The
test.
Turing test guy. Yeah.
Edward Digman.
It was pretty
Read
good.
that.
Played by Jim Carrey.
All right, and this one will be immortality. And now I'm due for a failure. Or not.
Or not.
26. Wow.
Incredible. That would unlock any of the secrets in here.
Tell me about that sweet, sweet immortality.
Lucky it's on that one.
Alright, I gotta make sure I get the right one here. Before immortality is Silver Knights. Yeah, Silver Knights, immortality, Amber Temple 2. Okay. Yep, that's Amber Temple 2. Alright.
Where is Ember Temple?
Amber Temples.
We saw like a temple earlier, didn't we? Like we were on the Druid mountaintop. It was like Strahd came there to stare at it, I think.
Oh. There's a ledge.
Where he is?
Since I'm on a hot streak, do we want to try one more?
How many was that? 3? It'll be what, 2 o'clock when we finish.
Yep.
Wait, at this 1 o'clock, does the bell also ring 13 times?
I forgot to mention that the bell rang 13 when the boy came back to life.
Oh shit.
Oh. Okay.
Do we want Spellbook, Emissions, Mother Knight, Silver Knights, or Amber Temple?
Amber Temple 2? Or I think Amber Temple 2 or Spellbook, I reckon. They're both.
Yeah.
This Amber Temple seems to be some sort of source of
Dark powers.
Yeah, it is the last entry. Let's go Amber Temple 2. Of course.
You are
I mean,
unable to
14?
discern anything. No.
Yep.
You
Very
did
good.
roll
Hot Hands Fallacy.
ridiculously well.
Hot Hands Fallacy.
Yeah. You
All
had
right.
been rolling ridiculously well.
Yeah.
If we're doing one more, can I try one for shits and giggles? Because I'm so stupid, I probably won't get it. It'd be hilarious if I do.
Go for it. Anton will help you out.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll be like leaning
Interesting.
over your
Guidance
shoulder.
and
Sound it
inspiration.
out.
It's like one of those is 13 plus a 1d4, wasn't it?
And a 1d8?
Oh, and another d8.
No, I don't think so.
Did you
Was
get
it?
inspired by? Or is it
No, just helping, I think.
Oh, just
I-
helping.
Nah.
So 13.
Alright, which one are you looking at?
I don't.
Was
oh,
it the same
God.
one?
I would have just been like looking over someone's shoulder, reading stuff. I guess I would have just gone for. I'll go for God.
Alright.
9 God.
2 before heart. Something. Alright.
It's from when Strahd went through his EP phase.
He's just looking at the page like, oh, my dyslexia is making it readable. It's rearranging itself.
Like Percy Jackson.
Yeah. Good way of putting it.
I kind of just start giggling at the page, reading it. I can read this one.
It's picture book.
Yeah.
I thought they said this was hard to read.
Which one did you choose?
God. So I guess it's
Oh, we got it.
it's in Pig Latin, but for some reason my dyslexic ass dumb can just read it naturally because I can't read normally. The witches of Barovia come to me for their Secor. Let's see. Okay. So the hags are working for him.
No, not the hag. The witches.
Oh, witches, sorry, yeah.
The hags haven't submitted.
Right.
So what's the time now? 3 p.m. or is it 2 p.m.?
3.
Yeah. There's probably 2 or 3 hours of daylight left.
Let's say we look into reincarnation.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just take the day.
Well, we have the
Yeah,
time.
reincarnation.
Probably an easy one.
Hope so. How's an 11 do it?
No, it's not.
4.
Oh my.
4 p.m.
Try it again or something else.
It was pretty easy, but you just you couldn't focus or something. Something went
Eye
wrong.
strain. Eye strain.
Exactly.
You've been doing it so much.
14.
On the same one.
Yeah.
All right. You get a rather large passage. Comparatively, at least. All right, should be there.
Yeah, but no. Ah, there it is.
God, I hate this guy. Alright. Taking another crack at Amber Temple 2. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah.
I pat you
Hell
on the
yeah.
back. 17.
17.
Not lucky enough. However, you do find something. It's not related to the Amber Temple. You've already so you reach the Amber Temple section and it's so complex you just can't understand it. The only words that you're able to discern for certain are in the Amber Temple, and that's all. But past that, 2 or 3 pages past, there is a single word. This word appears without context, it appears without meaning, but it's written with very delicate handwriting, deliberate, and is clearly important for some reason. Stella.
He licks the beer. Oh, no, sorry. Wrong person.
Stellar.
Is it the same
Alright.
handwriting?
It is. It has a circle around it. A rather casual circle, that you kind of make when you. Not
Just
a perfect circle. The word is perfectly written, and then the circle is casual.
Stellar.
Clearly has some vital importance, but what relevance it has is almost impossible to guess.
Like a roll of 26 a day.
More like you would have to just guess and be right. That's more,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. Yeah. It is a stiff imagination might find it.
Anton's burning out a little bit, but he's going to take one more crack at Amber Temple.
All right, and that'll bring us to 6 p.m. Right?
You can do it.
Oh,
Does 20 make it?
It does.
Hey,
Ah.
nice.
I can do 4 hours of it too. Because you guys need 8 hours, I need 4.
All right, should be there.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah, I
is
think
Stella, Stella one of them as well? Maybe.
Yeah?
Well, did we undo
Yeah,
the
maybe.
Amber Temple one?
Yeah, it just
We
spoke
did,
of
yeah.
his
Yeah.
armor or something.
Dark powers. Yeah, I remember now.
So there's a brain dead lich in an amber temple that may have
Yeah,
some secrets.
Yeah, and in his tower, there's something very important to Strahd, something that like would make him vulnerable.
That's not his tower. It's in Kazan's tower.
The heart,
It
which
says,
is in.
yeah, it says the Amber Temple is Kazan's.
Is it?
Amber Temple 1 says Kazan is granted profane life to his armor at the Amber Temple.
Or maybe that's
Amber
just
Temple.
where Kazan goes to get, dark power magic. Because if the tower that is like being held up by the Hunter Man is Kazan's tower, then can't be the same thing, right?
I'm not sure.
Does anyone in the town know of the Umber Temple, where it is, what it is?
Can I ask the Burgermaster?
What was the question? Sorry.
I got it. Okay.
Do you know like where or what the Amber Temple is?
He doesn't know, but his wife knows that the Dusk Elves know. There are a group of elves living outside the town of Valaki. They live under the protection of a group of Vistani. Most humans don't pay them any mind, but one of the reasons why the humans of Barovia know that there are other non-humans is because there are elves living within their boundaries. They keep to themselves. Now those elves know something about the Amber Temple, but that's as much as she knows. She's heard legends that link them, or she's had servants who've visited the elves and they've mentioned the Amber Temple. She can't remember the exact circumstance, but she knows that they have some connection.
Let's try to translate the elf passage then.
Elf passage.
Oh my. Ooh, I can re-roll a natural one. Fuck yeah. So 21 on elves.
21, much more than enough. It's not a particularly difficult passage. Alright. Roll20 is reloading for no reason. Reload it. It just decided to.
It's had enough.
It's had enough. I might be able to paste it in Discord though while we wait. No, sorry, I can't. I've still got the old one. Alright, we'll just have to wait for it to load.
No hurry.
Yeah, don't know what happened. It just. The other pages didn't reload. Who knows? Anyway.
I found mine does that sometimes. Just like randomly reloads itself.
Alright. Now loading the term Strahd.
The Tome of Strahd.
That's it. I was a little bit disappointed that no one gave me their backing vote.
During the ceremony.
Yeah. Come on, Strahd.
It's because he didn't end any of his sentences with "of Strahd."
Curse you of Strahd.
Still loading. Yeah, apologise for this. Not much I can do.
No worries. So, do you think I should get rid of this orb?
Well, according to this diary, anything the dark powers give you are bad, and that certainly sounds like, I mean, it doesn't seem good.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. Came from a statue of Strahd, so. But what? Do I break it? Do I hide it somewhere? Should I just leave it?
Maybe you can shove it up the abbot's ass.
Sounds like a fine plan if we intend to fight him. If we can't, like, convince him with his book, maybe I have to beat him over the head with it.
Serious doubts will convince him, but my conscience won't let me rule it out.
But he might be a threat to Strahd, though. If we can get him on our side, because look, he says, he's no threat to me while he continues his perverted folly. See?
I have no interest in this depraved gift. It makes sense.
I think it's
Ah,
just,
thank
it's, it's just clear that this whoever this angelic abbot might be, his confidence has gotten the better of him. But with this, maybe it's worth a shot. I think.
Oh man, the elves really pissed off Strahd somehow.
Man, they might be friends.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
Katrina?
No idea. Said they were with the Vistani, so maybe Vistani or perhaps Lakes would explain what the elves did. Yeah, I'm gonna try Lakes. A 19 for Lakes.
For lakes. Let's have a look at lakes. Okay. Not a very long passage. Alright. Edit.
Lakes, they contain water.
Lakes. Formed often in depressions in the environment.
They're wet,
When
yeah.
water fills them. Exactly. Yeah, it
He's a
should be
part-time geologist.
there. There we go.
Oh, alright.
Huh.
Probably last one Anton's gonna try for the night, Vistani.
Tragic.
How's an 8 do?
Not enough.
But we're playing
Someone else
reverse
can keep
this time.
trying.
I'll do my 4 hours rest and I'll do it in the morning.
Before I nod off to bed, I'll give you guidance. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll do it for 4 hours. That way I can get the first one with guidance, and then I'll sleep for 4 hours.
Guidance lasts for 1 minute.
Lasts for 1 minute.
I think it's.
Yeah, no.
It's 1 minute.
And it's concentration. Here you go. It's gone.
Yeah,
Immediately.
pretty much. Yeah. I stay up for.
I can still have one with guidance.
extra
Ah.
minute wide awake in bed. Just come on, read
It's
the
like-
book.
Like giving someone you can like your
Read,
laptop or
motherfucker,
something.
read.
like before you go to bed, and then it locks itself like as soon as you go to sleep.
Mm.
And they can't unlock it.
Alright. Do you have any assistance? You're by
I
yourself?
don't think I do. I am. I didn't actually say which one I was doing.
Yeah.
I'll go Vistani for 16.
Alright. Pistani for 16. That's
Good to
just
you.
before lakes. Cool. It's a very small passage, only 2 sentences, but you at least translate it.
These guys are good lads. Keep them alive.
You're not. It's not inaccurate. You probably elaborated a little bit too much. Too much detail.
Too much detail. They.
Fuck these early passages.
I'm so good.
Dear diary, the Vistani and I have reached a place of mutual respect. They are content with my rule and I don't trouble. I'll probably literally spend a day reading a grown man's diary. I'm just gonna say.
Alright, and then I'll sleep for 4 hours, and then I'll have 3 hours left while these guys still asleep.
You get attacked while you're asleep. No, you don't.
The tome begins like eating your face.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
God.
was secretly a mimic the whole time. It was just really fucking good at it.
Really patient.
He was playing the long game.
All right. Which one's next?
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Ambition.
Ambition.
With an investigation of 13.
2 in front of armor, 3 below immortality. Oh, okay. That'll do it, and you will get this. Ambitions, there's ambitions. Alright.
Oh.
The head.
Yeah. I believe 2 or 1 more? 2, I think. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Is that the head in the tower?
Didn't we discern that was one of the
We
Vistani?
assumed it was Vistani, right?
Yeah.
And we talked to it, didn't we?
We did. We have spoken to it.
Oh goddamn.
2 more to go, so I'll do a natural 1 for Mother Knight.
Guess what? That fails.
You tear a page
It
out.
succeeds. We're playing golf.
You're trying to do some shit like hold a candle up to the book to see if you can like read through the page,
Oh.
and you accidentally set it on fire.
That's
Oh,
it.
God.
That's so good.
A natural 20 for Mother Knight.
Alright, Mother Knight.
I put all the burnt pages back together.
Well done.
And that somehow solves the code.
Yeah, it was in. Be heated up with
That was
the-
how you. That was the original way to crack the code. Was you had to set the page on fire and then
Yeah,
reassemble
that's
it.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, my boy. All right. So is what's that after? It was Mother Knight.
Ambition.
And it's
After Ambitions, before Silver Knights.
Thank you. Yeah. You needed a 20 as well.
Oh.
Okay. Mother Knight. Okay, it should be there.
Huh.
Hmm.
More pieces of the fucking puzzle.
Yeah.
All right. Does that mean that it is now dawn again?
It is.
All right. Well, with the session coming to an end, but not yet at an end, it's probably best to spend the next 15 to 20 minutes working out how we approach the next session and exactly where you want to be when we leave it before the next session. Yeah, I think you're all pretty much of one mind, and I'm not sure if you're all on board tactically and strategically, if you all have the same battle plan. Um, my suggestion would be for you to talk about that, talk tactics, and exactly when you launch over. Like we give him the dress, stab him in the back, or something like that. And after that, we can probably begin up the trail and seeking admission into the temple. But again, you might not want to do it that way. I'll leave it up to you.
We should, I think, definitely chat to the head of the architect again. If we're eventually rocking up to Strahd's castle to fuck shit up, we're gonna need to.
How many days do you have to wait for that?
It's 10 days, so that's like in that time maybe we go to the Amber Temple to see what we can find there, and then come back. And upon coming back, we head back to the tower, speak with the head, and then go from there. Kind of. That's how I would approach the situation. But obviously, yeah, there's a lot here that we can do and a lot that we can chase up.
To elves first, Amber Temple, right? Maybe we could maybe while we're near the elves, if it's near the other side of the river
Yeah.
or lake, sorry, you might want to check out the that mad mage. He's still kicking around there. Might help us, you know.
Mm.
What else we
Yeah.
got?
Real quick, just to make sure we're clear on the strat for next session, we're gonna go up to the abbey peaceably, try to convince the abbot that, like using the diary, that Strahd really, really isn't gonna fall for this shit, and
Alright.
see if we can turn him against him. If not, we make sure the henchmen don't escape and murder him, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
I think the other thing we've got to be careful of is that he doesn't destroy the tome in the process when seeing it.
It's probably pretty hard to destroy. It's got all his secrets in it.
Maybe. I'd rather
I
not
mean,
find out.
we found this thing in a scarecrow.
I accidentally burnt a page, but that's how I deciphered one of the pages, so I thought I'd put that in there.
This guy's a weird cryptographer.
Yeah. He's got flair. Ha. Get it? Flair? Because he said it on fire.
Hey.
Wowzers.
Do we want to check out the Eagle Rock?
Do it.
And the
Ego rock.
I was just at work, I'm like, Eagle into a rock, and then the song that was playing was Eagle Rock. I'm like, hang on a second.
That would have been such a good epiphany.
Fucking oath. I just like started
oh.
smiling to myself. I was like, hell yeah, cool.
So I guess we'd head up for now. Like we'd get ready, head up to this day. We'd head up to the abbot. With the dress or without the dress?
I reckon we bluff the fact that we've got the dress to get in.
Say we've.
We have to. We
left
can just say
somewhere
we're here
else.
to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it worked last time, didn't it?
And before we leave, we have to give him the dress anyway. As payment.
Even if we kill him.
Well,
You know what? We could instead go up there and ask. Because we have the ability to fabricate the dress, we could talk about like what he thinks might be a particularly good, perhaps design, appropriate like filigree, all that
We-
sort of shit. Like,
I think we should tell him
Yeah.
about the book first.
We don't actually need to make a dress.
yeah,
Yeah. So if I
Yeah.
if I got this straight, we're gonna go up, no dress, but with the book. We're gonna talk to
Yeah.
him about the book, tell him what's happened. If he loses this
Yeah.
shit and attacks us, we kill him. If he doesn't, but
Mm.
still refuses to listen, we leave and make a dress.
No, then we kill him.
We kill him as then. Okay,
yeah, I
cool.
think the end result.
No
Yeah,
dress.
The end
basically,
result
unless
is-
he sees the error of his ways and agrees to, well, at least agrees to stop fucking grave robbing and all this shit. Like, unless he seriously chills the fuck out, we take him down.
yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
think
Forgetting the dress.
Yeah, just fuck the dress. We don't need that.
Right. Okay.
I think Elenway will likely try. Yeah, obviously, if there's a way that we don't kill the fucking like the angel, like that's obviously like in Elenway's mind the best sort of outcome. But that's fine. Yeah, if it ends up being that we kill this fellow, then sure, it kind of has to happen, I guess.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
That sounds like a
I
plan
mean,
to
the
me.
idea of an angel doesn't. The idea of killing an angel doesn't sit right with Anton either. But on the other hand, there's the whole
There's the whole,
literal Frankenstein.
Yeah, the whole fall from grace and doing all this kind of crap. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's
Plus,
obvious too.
we're in a
What do
plane
you
of
do
dread,
when an
so
angel plays God?
play God yourself.
I mean, that's basically. I mean, that's basically what Satan did, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically,
Think
he
so.
wanted to
It's how the
become
story
play
goes, yeah.
God. That's what God wants you to think.
That's right. I read Paradise Lost. I know Satan's secretly the good guy.
Yeah, you're in on it.
I also
I was
think
gonna say,
we should look to dispatch that armor before we go and get him as well.
armor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember
Strahd.
we
The
saw
living
that
armor.
the
armor
living armor.
in the
Fuck yeah.
hallway, I think, when we went in.
I don't know if that was the actual armor. He said it shatters from falling off the parapet.
He said he hoped it doesn't shatter.
Probably like,
But,
some
Huh?
like control box.
Constructed it to defend the castle.
Where's-
Yeah.
Wait, which armor? Strahd's armor.
Chapter 14 in the passages from the Tome of Strahd.
I have
14,
empowered it
right.
with me will and the might of storms, and instructed it to defend the castle. In great need, I may summon it to myself
Oh.
and run it with a word.
Yeah, I thought you meant the abbot had like armor. I
No,
was like,
no.
what armor?
No.
Alright, okay. We're good then. I am up to with you guys now.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. We should definitely kill that so he doesn't have armor.
I'm out of character. Like, fuck. If I was playing like a more curious or like adventurous character, the Amber Temple with all the passwords and shit, we'd totally be going like dungeon raiding, trying to find out.
Felicity
what-
should.
Oh, we're still going dungeon raiding there.
Yeah, we're still going.
Just
Did
not
someone
now.
take
Like,
me?
obviously,
I mean, we've
Strahd
got the
got something
fucking-
fucking important there.
We've got the passwords to that place, man.
Amber
Yeah.
Temple, baby.
We get to
You
walk
can't-
in the
we-
front door,
we-
motherfuckers.
We Indiana
You can't
Jones
have
now.
passwords and not use them. You gotta use them.
Yeah. No, that's
Maybe
cool.
that's just the hacker in me.
I guess the campaign's going for a bit longer than we'd expected then. So,
That's what happens
Yeah.
when we read books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
no
notes.
shit. No, it's like
Did his time
Yeah,
as
it's
Strahd.
literally
fuck
the
me.
great big book of plot hooks.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced this campaign's gonna end abruptly when we all die.
Killing the abbot.
Yeah, inevitably we're gonna do something that like I've never like played Curse of Strahd, As I understand, there's a lot of shit in the books where it's just like if players do X, Strahd now wants them dead.
Yep.
And will not stop until they are.
Yeah. I assume that's pretty much his goal to start with, isn't it?
I mean, I
I
don't want
imagine
to
he's
spoil
more
shit.
curious of people. That's
Yeah.
how
He
I
finds
feel
no
he
one
is.
a threat,
Yeah,
essentially.
because
so
initially,
he's
remember, we
yeah.
were just a plaything.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, we probably still are, but you know.
I mean,
But now we've actually done
Yeah,
something.
but now we're like, fuck, we've actually picked up some pretty big artifacts and his own personal journal.
to be fair, he did kind of try and kill us as soon as we got here. We were dumb enough to accept his invitation to his castle, but still.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
I don't think he technically tried to kill us, but he did invite us into his castle, half of which is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try and find his heart? The heart of the castle, or
That's in
whatever
the
it is.
castle, I believe.
I think
It
he
is
said
in
that
the
was in the
castle.
temple.
I think
Yeah.
that's
I think it's in-
Kazan's heart.
Or no,
Kazan.
Kazan's tower, rather.
Yeah,
I think Kazan. I
Which
think
is
that's
this here?
Kazan's armor. Maybe I don't know.
Uh,
It's all confusing. It's still all
it
vague.
is. Yeah. Hmm. Alrighty.
No,
Well, at least we got a plan for next
yeah.
session. So we're gonna go Abbot, try and convert the priest. If we can't convert, he dies. And if once we do that, we're gonna head to the
Elves, since they probably know where the temple is.
temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna find the temple.
Cool. That sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and then
Abbot
maybe
and
we
temple.
take a crack at Kazan's tower. Basically, like we'll find out where the temple is, and based on that, we'll decide whether or not we want to go there or the Kazan's tower.
Yeah,
Does that
that
sound
sounds
good?
good to me. Sounds good to me.
So I only half caught that. You're going to the abbot, but that will go
Yeah.
however it goes. We'll wait and see. Beyond that, we're
Mhm.
then presumably returning to Valaki so that you can speak with the elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we told there were.
Cool. So you go to Valaki, speak with the elves who are under the protection of the Vistani. From there, because you're so close to the lake, are you going to cross the lake in search of the Mad Mage?
Might as well, right?
Like Zarevich, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's like Valaki's here, and the elves are somewhere near.
And then the Mad Mage is somewhere over the other side, over here somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He's been spotted along this shore.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like level 20 kicking Strahd's door down.
Yeah. Maybe not. Who knows?
Where's my money, you fucking nerd?
Maybe this angel's gonna kick our teeth in.
Yeah, we're about to get completely destroyed.
What did you last level after the finding the
After the druids,
Yeah,
after
last
the druids?
session.
like
Oh,
after
right.
Winter
Yeah,
Splinter.
of course you did. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Was it
Seven?
big
We
battle?
are
Yeah, good. That was well
Yeah,
deserved.
because we got like for that fight.
level 7.
Yeah, 7 we
Yeah.
are.
All right. So yeah, up to the abbey. He's speaking with the elf, and from there you're not sure if you're going across the lake or not.
It depends on what's close, I guess. After we talk to the elves.
And then you go to the Ember Temple, wherever it. All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Last session was not our soundest strategic moment. Like we're getting like stalked by all these fucking wolves, and we see all these like tree things up on the hill, like dancing around. Or like, fuck. Well, let's take them out first, and then we can fight the wolves one at a time. And then we run in there, and just half that goddamn forest comes to life and tries to murder us. Then the wolves show up with the werewolves. Then Strahd rides in on his fucking nightmare.
To be fair, how can we ever predict Strahd? He is a special boy.
No one predicts the Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly. Hey, Arctic, did you mean to put the map up with the red lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel it just makes the roads that much more obvious. Those
Yeah.
red bits are proper trails, and it just makes it so much easier for I think you guys to be able to see what's a road and what's a contour.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Eagle Rock, are we gonna go to Mount Garcus and fuck up that boy, or no?
I feel like if he's an enemy of Strahd, we don't want to.
He's not
Oh,
necessarily an enemy of Strahd.
Well,
Bro,
just
don't you want that?
feeding.
You want that hell good champagne though, don't you?
I
We
suppose.
don't,
Do
it's
we?
probably very magical.
Probably, but we don't really know that. We just think it's good wine.
Do we
Yeah,
know
yeah,
if
but
rock?
we don't know the rock that turns eagles into giant birds is magic. It's
No.
like,
That was when me and Vorig wanted to eat a stone each so we could grow in size.
Nice.
I can
Probably
turn you
good.
guys into giant birds now, though. It's cool.
Yeah.
well, I
Oh
don't
my
want to
God,
be anything
Ariel.
but a dwarf.
Aerial fight. Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting now. We have a lot that we can do now. Hey.
Yeah, we have a lot of pathways to get stronger before Strahd.
Yeah, it's my new goal to turn Strahd into a newt.
Yes.
You are a newt. And then what? Put him in an adamantine box,
And weld it shut.
and then drop the concentration.
Yeah,
Drop-
drop it in
drop-
running water.
Yeah. Drop it
Hmm.
into a lake.
Interesting.
No, a running lake.
A walking leg.
Lakes can't run, they don't have
A
legs.
A strutting lake,
Strutting.
A strutting
Strut.
lake.
and the Bee Gees plays in the distance as it
Yeah.
does so.
Throw it into a lake and then cast like animate water on the lake.
The lake
See,
strutted
that is the
seductively
ultimate
down the river.
question. Does a water elemental count as running water?
I mean, if it starts running, it does.
That's true.
Pretty good.
That is
definition.
true.
Uh,
Yeah, water elemental
Oh.
counts as running water so long as it's moved its full speed that turn.
Good definition.
Druid turns into water elemental, runs to Strahd, kills him.
Yeah. Literally just starts running circles around him.
Oh, this is stupid.
I reckon on the way we just stop off at the tower as well to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
King's Tower.
Oh yeah, we will pass it on the way. Let's just
Yeah.
we'll stop by the tower first.
And so, when you go to the tower, what are you going to do there?
Do we want to pick up the head, or we
no.
just gonna? Well, we don't really want to take it out of the anti-magic
Yeah,
field, do we?
exactly,
Because we
because-
don't want Strahd to find it.
You leave it
Yeah.
right there.
Hold it
Yeah,
up
we
like,
really
hey,
get
I
a
got your fucking head.
Hard though.
Send a message to Strahd
Yeah.
while we're in the tower and be like, "Hey nerd, look at this! Look at the tower, idiot!
Man,
Can't touch us."
If I was,
Actually, we
if
should-
I was playing a trickery domain cleric, I
Yeah.
100% would be doing that all the time.
What?
Just
Fuck
like,
you,
hey nerd,
Strahd.
we're coming to fuck you up.
From
We
now
should
on, Strahd is just like this fucking virgin nerd in our eyes.
He's
This
the-
fucking
he's the
incel,
biggest
like
incel
lusting after a girl.
Fucking redditor.
now. Oh, fuck.
We
Fucking
should
friend
also-
zone,
I'm
bitch.
glad someone else said it. Fuck, that's great.
We
Tatiana
should-
is mine. Why do you love my more
God,
beautiful
I held the
younger
door
brother?
open for her and everything. Why won't she return my feelings? Like fucking blue
I held
balls,
the door
man.
open and she jumped off to the tower. Feels
Yeah.
bad.
I am ancient. I am the
I
land.
fucking killed my brother
I'm
for her.
virgin.
Like, what kind of bitch doesn't appreciate that?
Okay, Boomer.
We're throwing that at Strahd.
Okay, Boomer.
Daddy Honor is
How dare
mine.
you enter my land and intrude on my territory? Okay.
We should also check on what's her name? The vampire hunter? The girl?
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Because
she's at the tower,
those.
isn't she?
Yeah, but like those werewolf sounds, they came from above her as well. Like,
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, with
yeah,
that,
she might be attacked up there.
within that tower.
I mean,
she's fine.
worst case scenario, you know, she set off about 1,000 vials of alchemist fire before they took her down. So
Yeah,
Best
Oh,
case
well.
scenario, she's just chilling in the tower. The tower defends her.
yeah, true. But worst is she's dead. So we
Yeah.
should go check at least on the way.
And if she knows how to find the werewolf,
Knows how to what?
Or the Amber Temple, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she
Ooh.
knows how to find the Amber Temple. Or
she's
the
heard of
werewolf
it,
layer,
or
yeah.
there's something in Van Richten's tower about it that she knows of.
Yeah, we're pretty screwed if she's not there to, like, you know, let us come and go from Van Richten's tower.
What's off to the west, though?
Excuse me?
What's off to the west?
Oh, it was like a castle.
I really, like, didn't know which one.
Are we not going to address that? What's off to the west?
That's what you said, and I was like, it's either west or east, but it sure as hell ain't both.
I like to
It's
say
exactly where you're standing.
west. I like to say west. I'm heading now.
Alright, I'm gonna head off, and so basically we're going to then from there, probably the town from there, Balaki from there, probably the
Yes.
elves, maybe. It's probably going to be the end of the session. So
Amber Temple.
alright.
Speed run.
Alright.
Let me
Yeah,
get
that's my
talking.
call here for tonight.
Speed
Good
run.
session, guys.
No
See ya.
talking. All speed run.
Cheers, I'll see.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Devs
That's a-
react to